That
I
joke
kinda
did
feel that
not
way.
make it on the air.
Damn it!
No!
I mean, you could say it again if you want, but the moment's kind of past now. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the episode 150 on the
Hey,
live
Bill, who's
Google
there?
Plus. Yes, Bill is already submitting questions somehow before we were even on the air, and it says
It is truly a
Hey,
special
Bill.
night.
Hey, Bill, I know
knock,
you.
knock.
Bill, I know you can't get life insurance, but don't pay attention to Brad.
Knock,
I mean.
knock.
Who's there?
Oh!
Come on,
What's it
Bill.
gonna be?
Come on, Bill. Come on, Bill. You're leaving us hanging. You're leaving
Is
everybody
it the
watching.
setup? Do you think he's
hanging.
setting us up for a knock-knock joke?
Mike. No.
Oh, no.
That was last week. Well, he's not coming back. So maybe it'll be this will be the world's most drawn out knock knock joke as it takes course over the course of the entire episode. We'll see how it goes.
Mr. Popular with the text messages.
That's actually Twitter, but yeah.
Is it related to people asking us questions?
No, well, it's somebody favoriting the link to the Google Plus, so there's that.
Nice.
My
Perfect.
text message noise, as we had discussed on the show previously, my text message noise is the phone from CTU on 24, which came back this week, and I
Very
have not
cool.
gotten to watch yet, but that's a whole other story. So,
Was that a ringtone that was invented for the show, or did that already exist?
I don't know. I don't know. Anyway.
Twitter, I'm gonna retweet your thing.
Did you see Jack Bauer and Chloe O'Brien on SNL?
Are you going to send out the episode link too? No. I haven't watched SNL in a while.
Oh, okay. Can't say I blame you.
Anne Frank. Frank.
Yes.
Who, Bill?
I know. He told me this joke on Sunday.
Anne Frank. Who?
Oh, no.
This is going to be interesting because we're going to start recording the show and suddenly have a punchline that nobody's going to understand. If they're
And
not
frankly, I think you guys do a damn good job on your podcast.
watching. Hey!
I hope that's the punchline, but I'm guessing it won't be.
Probably not. Andy says he knows the punchline.
I do know punchline.
Yeah,
Is it tasteless?
It's Bill.
Oh.
that's a yes. Anne.
But Bill, seriously, don't trust Brad. He'll bring you beer. Don't take the forbidden fruit.
I have a knock-knock joke. What is it? Actually, I'll check it out.
Oops. That's awful.
I know, I love it, but I hate it at the same time.
All right, good job, Bill. On that note, let's start the show.
All right.
Everybody ready?
Sure.
Mhm.
All right, let me get my thing up here because it shut down on me. There we go. So it's Rundown, episode 150.
Monumental.
In 3, 2, 1, record. Well, this week's episode of The Rundown is brought to you by Adam Rose's Exotic Espresso. When you need just that extra little kick to get you from lemon to rosebud, turn to Adam Rose's Exotic Espresso. The secret ingredient is ecstasy. Roddy Piper sent out a tweet asking WWE for a late-night talk show on the WWE Network. How friggin' awesome would that be?
I'd watch it.
It would be too awesome, which is why it's not going to happen.
It would certainly be entertaining.
I will tell you, WWE Network, if you want to do a game show with my trivia game as the topic, I'll host it. I'll write it. I'll host it. I'll do all the work.
Wow.
That'd be
Yeah.
pretty sweet.
That's
Can we
free
be-
right there. Free.
Can we be your regular panel of guests, and then the third person can be like an, I don't know, a superstar, a different superstar every week?
Of course.
Me?
I'm putting the word out to Michael Cole since we know he's a listener.
And Santino.
And
And
Santino.
Santino.
No.
Let's get to the rundown.
Yeah.
Episode 150. Oh, yeah. Okay. putting Sheamus to sleep faster than a third-tier pay-per-view. It's episode 150. Looks like we made it. Of the Rundown. My name is Adam. I'm your host, and it is Wednesday, May the 7th, 2014. Joining me this week, as per usual, Andrew's here. Andrew's got beer.
Hey.
Aw. Andrew's kind of grumpy, but we'll fix that soon enough.
Hopefully so.
And, of course, our other host this week, not sure which gimmick we're going with, so we'll go with the generic one. Raccoon Reigns.
Pleasure to be here. Pleasure to be here, as always. Now, I don't know if you guys are aware. Obviously, we know Dave Bautista is going to be starring in a film version of Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy this summer, but here is something I learned the other day. One of the Guardians is a talking animal named Rocket, which is noteworthy because it means that this summer, Bautista will be starring in a movie alongside a computer-generated raccoon. Finally, a summer blockbuster we can all get behind. I had no idea. Why was this not brought to my attention before? That there's a CGI raccoon.
I just assumed he was related to you. I apologize. I thought you were all related.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
That's racist.
No offense taken.
Okay, that's good.
Indeed.
Episode 150.
We made it.
In our 1,200-part series. That is the Rundown Wrestling Podcast. Sean, I forgot to ask you this. I should have asked this before we started recording. Mr. Reigns, I know you have a special thing planned.
Yes.
Are we doing it after the news as usual?
Yeah, we can save it for the end.
Perfect.
Also, in case you were wondering, Raccoon Reigns is now on Facebook for all you listeners out there who want to correspond with either myself,
that's right,
Raccoon Reigns, or Sean. We're both reachable via the Raccoon Reigns Facebook page.
Yes, Raccoon Reigns took over the Facebook account of occasional Rundown host Sean.
That is correct.
So look out for that. On the side, Pedro Ramirez has stumbled upon our humble show and says, "Hey, it's Putito." I don't know what that means.
Hey, all right.
To Google Translate.
Yes, somebody take care of that.
I think that's related. Puta is bitch, isn't it? So I think he's calling us bitches.
You are bitches, maybe.
Calling us little bitches. Hooray!
Oh, we are little bitches.
El Putito.
Eres Putito.
You are a little bitch.
Really?
I think so.
Awesome. Putin and Puto. Thank you, Pedro Ramirez, for spamming our fine little Q&A.
I think he means it lovingly. He means it lovingly.
If it happens again, I'm going to block him. Let's look at the numbers.
Oh, no, actually, not to ruin the numbers, it means, and I apologize for saying this, you're a faggot.
Oh. Oh, no. Sigh.
Welcome to the internet. On the numbers, our Twitterus has...
tell me about the Twitterus.
We're just gonna block.
Is it engorged?
Yeah. I just gotta delete that. Oh, I can't block him. I can only delete the question. All right.
Is this our first ever spam bot? I like it.
I don't think he's a spam bot. I think he's just a Mexican asshole.
Wow.
Anyway.
So he's like Alberto Del Rio, basically.
Twitterus.
Tell me how engorged
followers on Twitter.
Wow, we have an engorged Twitterus.
We gained 4 this week. We gained 4 followers on Twitter this week. So,
wow. That's insane.
With that, we go to the Rundown Rewind, which is me and a little bit Sean this week.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, my apologies for having a life. I'm sorry.
Because Andy's
and
busy.
Sean,
Andy's busy doing marriage stuff, so whatever.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
So we open NXT with Hunter. Fuck.
Can't escape him. You cannot escape him.
Hunter says the line between the present and the future keeps getting more and more blurred as more and more NXT superstars work their way up. Hunter sounds like he still has bronchitis, but that could be because this was probably taped about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, that was a pretty good moment a couple weeks ago where he did have the fucked up voice when he was talking. That was amusing.
As we talked about last week, May 29th hosts NXT TakeOver live for 2 hours on the WWE Network. Then we get our opening video. Tonight begins the NXT Women's Championship Tournament.
Yeah.
But first, it's Tyson Kidd. His opponent...
Wait a second. Just for my own clarification, Andy, if I was listening to your to your recap last week correctly,
Yes.
so Paige vacated the title,
Yes.
Well,
but then she ended up jobbing later that night anyway.
Well, yeah, I believe she lost. Yes, she lost to Charlotte that night.
She was pinned, so
She was
why
pinned.
not just have her get pinned instead of doing the tournament then,
That
if they're going to
would-
get her pinned anyway?
That would make sense. This is WWE.
my point was that would make the and I know it's kind of silly because it's the Divas champion, but it would make the Divas champion look kind of weak to beat AJ and then lose on NXT.
Right. That's a good point.
And that is what happened.
But not for the title.
Oh, okay,
And
sure.
was that no, it wasn't a tag match. That was the week before. Or was it a tag match?
It was
No,
a tag
it
match.
was a tag match
match.
with Emma.
Yep.
So anyway, it's
The one that
convoluted.
week before they
Yeah.
said that she was looking for a partner that week, and then
Yeah.
didn't have until next week.
Right. It's convoluted. What do you want?
Yeah.
But first, it's Tyson Kidd. His opponent is Bo Dallas. Believe in the
Mhm.
Shield. The crowd, either because they don't care about this match or because they just want to nag Bo about his brother, begins chanting, "He's got the whole world in his hands."
Oh boy.
Uh,
This is going to become a regular thing when he gets to WWE, isn't it? They're just going to heckle the shit out of him.
Poor Bo.
Bo Wyatt.
Another somersault neckbreaker from the ropes puts Tyson over Bo. I could not understand what they were calling the move, but it sounded kind of like he was saying Glarbuster. He was saying Blockbuster. That's my bad.
Oh, okay.
Bo is very upset about his loss. Good thing he's going to Raw soon. Backstage,
Believe it.
Camacho asserts that he is not a party pooper. His parties are friggin' awesome, man. Adam Rose interrupts party time all the time, etc. Tonight's crew includes Eugene as a Spartan and a fat-ass luchador.
No, was it actually Eugene?
It looked like Eugene. It probably wasn't,
Wow.
but it looked like him.
Hmm.
Bailey is on the path to victory. Sasha is ready to take over. Enter Bailey when we return, accompanied to the ring by Wacky Wiggling Inflated Arm Tube Man. They had two of them. It was kind of ridiculous.
Nice.
Enter Sasha with Charlotte. Sadly, no sign of Sticker Ray this week. Sadly, Bailey taps to a crossface. Goddamn autocorrect. Bailey
Crossfire?
Yes.
and loses the match
In the mean streets.
and is out of the tournament.
Aw.
Womp. Byron, Tom, and Regal are giving us the business tonight. They send us to a vignette for Brodus. P.S. I'm positive those were fake teeth on Aaron Neville. What's his name? Adrian Neville. Thank you. Way to go, brain. I'm positive those were fake teeth because there were two of them sitting on the floor in one solid piece, and teeth don't work like that. Clay versus Neville. No DQ for the title tonight. Plus, Adam Rose is next. Enter the Ravers. Enter Adam Rose. Rose's opponent is the now released Danny Burch.
Oh.
Rose wins. Ravers reappear. Then Camacho takes out Fat Luchador.
Is Adam Rose actually like a good wrestler?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd say so.
All right.
Would
Just
you
checking.
agree, Andrew?
Yeah, no, definitely.
Okay.
I object to the fact that he's always like throwing himself around with a lollipop in his mouth. I mean, that's just a good way to get like choked. You know, you got to be careful there. I hope one of those bunnies knows the Heimlich.
Oh, 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 oh. No, we already did that one. Backstage, Brodus is doing the taking. Tonight, enter Natalya for her first round match in the NXT Women's Championship Tournament. When we come back, Natalya in a Goldman box says being NXT Women's Champion would be a dream come true. Sure it would. Her opponent is Layla, because they're both NXT divas. Layla gets a Goldman box too, but doesn't say anything important, because who cares? Layla taps to the sharpshooter. Natalya will face Sasha in round 2. This whole thing is going to come down to Charlotte versus Sasha, isn't it?
Maybe.
Yeah, probably. Backstage, Adrian doesn't plan on losing. When we come back, the now released Oliver Gray is in the ring. He is facing Mojo Rawley. Mojo hits Gray with Naomi's finisher. What the fuck's it called?
Rear view?
That's the one.
Yes.
Wait, a guy is using that finish?
Well, he did it in that. He did it in this match, anyways.
Does he have a fat ass?
Then the hyperdrive, and then he pins him. His celebration is quickly interrupted by jacked up math teacher Aiden English. Aiden attacks, Mojo overcomes. Backstage.
He's a math teacher?
You don't remember that from last week?
Oh, yes, that's right. Never mind. Okay, gotcha.
So he looked like a jacked up math teacher.
I forgot. That's right, because I said I was a better wrestler. I looked like more of a wrestler than Aiden English. Gotcha.
Backstage,
Forgetting your own gimmicks.
Sorry.
Brodus is pushing ups. That's next. Main event time when we return, enter Brodus. Not a bad match, but kind of short if you ask me. Red Arrow on the belt on Brodus, and Adrian Neville retains his championship. Neville celebrates as we go off the air. Meanwhile, on Superstars, Damian Sandow pins Sin Cara, and Tamina pins Natalya.
Whoa, Damian Sandow actually won?
Yep.
That's
Holy
odd.
shit.
It was on Superstars, though, so it barely counts.
Yeah, it's not even like a real wrestling match at all.
Yeah.
I remember a couple weeks ago when Sin Cara was harnessing the power of Scooby-Doo to defeat Sandow.
I didn't remember. Thanks for bringing that repressed memory to the surface.
You're welcome.
Just talk about SmackDown, would you?
Okay, all right, sure. Oh, that's my domain. So, the onset of the weekend is here as I was writing this, so that means it's time for Friday Night Smackhoon! And we are pre-taped from Kansas City, Missouri, which means the looming specter of the ghost of Owen Hart will be presiding over tonight's festivities. We open with the Wyatt family making their way to the ring, this time not accompanied by child versions of The Undertaker's Druids. Their opponents are Sheamus and the Usos, or, as they are more commonly known, Sheamusos. So for those of you scoring at home tonight, Luke Harper is sporting a dark red bandana in his back left pocket, which means, according to the gay hanky code, he is a fist fucker. Perhaps
I gotta stop you for half a second. Is that a razor blade you're holding right there? Or is that your paw? I can't tell. Like at this angle, it looks like a razor blade.
It's my paw. It's my paw.
Okay, just making sure, because I was like, man, you've gone extreme.
It's very threatening.
It's extremely threatening. Sorry.
Do you think I would have to do a blade job?
Maybe. Sorry, that's a visual joke for the audio podcast.
All the stuffing would come out.
It would. Sorry, continue.
No, by all means. But the important thing to take away from that last statement is that Luke Harper is a fist fucker.
Yeah. Raccoon Reigns doesn't have to do a blade job. He's already wearing a mask.
Crimson Mask. So, anywho, yes, indeed. Luke Harper, dark red bandana means fist fucker, which means perhaps he should change the lyrics of that song to "He's got the whole hand in his hole." But I'm spitballing here. This was a solid match, and the Wyatts scored the victory when Bray tapped Harper's shoulder to blindly tag himself in behind Jimmy Uso's back. Then Wyatt snuck into the ring and hit him with Sister Abigail for the pinfall. After the match, Jey Uso did a suicide dive from the ring to the outside for no fucking reason, taking out Harper and Rowan temporarily, but then Bray regained control, threw him into the barrier. Sheamus then tried to beat up all three Wyatts on his own, but they got the better of him as well. Back in the ring, Harper then nailed Jimmy with that sweet spinning clothesline as the Wyatts posed over his motionless body. Jimmy Uso looked like he may have actually been dead there, but don't worry, Vince insisted that the show must go on anyway. Don't worry. 15 years ago this month. Next up, it's a vignette for Adam Rose, Axel's younger brother who he refuses to acknowledge. He's coming to Raw this Monday, and do you know what I'm bringing with me? Here's a quick list. A kiddie pool full of nacho cheese. A boombox playing David Flair's theme song on a never-ending loop. Adult film actress Patsy Produce, who's been known to make an entire zucchini disappear. A live buffalo wearing a ballerina costume. Sparklers that were lit with an eternal flame so they can never be extinguished. A candy bowl with an even mixture of M&Ms and multicolored M&M-sized ecstasy pills. Piñatas full of water-based lubricant. And a group of human Winnie the Poohs. That's a bunch of grown men wearing red T-shirts and nothing else. Hop aboard the Exotic Express this Monday.
You forgot the bunnies.
They hop. Which in his vignettes, you can actually hear him saying "I love bunnies" at the end of the vignettes, which is a nice touch.
Yeah. Bill has a comment. It says, "There, finally, I had to show Amy from Amazon my junk again to get this to work."
Good time.
If you show Amy your wang and her response is "Aw," that's probably not a good thing.
Yeah. Oh, it's so cute.
Next up,
Raccoon Range, you look like you belong in an Adam Rose vignette.
oh, I would love to be in an Adam Rose vignette. I will hop aboard the Exotic Express if he will allow me to do so.
I'm sure he would.
Oh, good. Well, he likes bunnies, and that's close enough.
Bunnies, raccoons, same thing.
Do you hop like this?
I do.
Okay. Then you're in. You're in.
For those listening at home, Adam just hopped like a bunny. Kinda.
Kind of. From a sitting position.
And
Anyway.
by Adam, I mean rundown host Adam, not Adam Rose himself. Anyway, so next up, I shit you not, Vicky Guerrero was in the ring with Los Matadores and the 3 3/8 man band to moderate the contract signing between El Torito and Hornswoggle for their WeLC match at Extreme Rules this Sunday. A quick side note, if they're calling it WeLC, shouldn't that mean that the competitors can only use tiny ladders and chairs? Think about it. Just think about it.
We'll get to that.
Yeah. Long story short, pun intended, they both signed the contract, Swoggle and Torito end up brawling, and eventually Torito and Los Aldo Montoyas clear the ring. I don't think I need to go into too much more detail here. Why? Because it's crappy crap along, cause this felt like a root canal on a tooth. Because it's crappy crap along, if you felt that this bit needed more R-truth. Because it's crappy crap along, if you know that they couldn't lace Max Mini's boots. Because they're crappy crap along, if you want to put a gun in your mouth and shoot. Because it's crappy.
I have no idea what song that is.
Neither do I.
That song Happy by... anyway.
By who? I don't know that
I'm
one.
amazed you've been able to avoid the song Happy for this long, quite frankly.
Yeah. Well, maybe you just weren't doing a good job at it.
Yeah, it's possible.
Because
Anyway.
the phrase WeLC wasn't degrading enough, let's mock them
No.
by having a contract signing.
Right.
Ugh. Well, and also it provided the new stinger for the end of the show, didn't it?
That's true. No, that was from Raw.
That's from Raw, yeah.
But,
Oh,
yeah.
sorry.
Remember when Drew McIntyre was the chosen one?
Oh,
Now he's playing back up to a bullshit leprechaun.
Yeah.
bullshit. Nicely done. Nicely
Well
done.
played. Well played.
Sometimes I really hate this company.
Yeah.
Casey's singing along with you on the side.
Oh, we got some. What are the comments saying over here?
Casey is singing along with you.
She knows the song.
And
The whole goddamn world knows that. You are the only two people in the world who I think do not know that.
I think if I heard the actual song, I would know it. But
I don't think I would.
your parody is awful. So, Bill says it is if it's wearing a bunny costume. I'm not sure. It's something about Adam Rose. I'm not sure exactly what. But
Yeah, I don't know. So where was I? Oh, yes, okay. So Rob Van Dam versus Jack Swagger with Paul Heyman and Cesaro on commentary. In what was a quick match, RVD picked up the win after hitting Swagger with the Frog Star 5 splash. After the match, Cesaro jumped RVD from behind because he's a heel, I guess. He then picked him up by the pork sword and hit him with the penis pile driver. Side note, can someone please explain to me what Cesaro's taunt is supposed to be? After 2 whole years of him being on WWE television, the best I can come up with is milking a giant imaginary cow.
I think it's some kind of gun situation.
Yeah, he's like loading up the guns.
Yeah, but can I point out the fact that they piped in booze for when Cesaro attacked RVD?
Yeah.
And I would bet honest money that the crowd did not boo Cesaro when he attacked RVD.
Yeah, I'm sure they probably didn't.
I think that's a safe bet. So next up, it's time for the Ravishing Russian and the Bulgarian Brute. Personally, I can't wait until they add the Hungarian Homunculus to their stable, but that's just me.
Remember that I'm not allowed to say that word in an irritating fashion anyway. Nemanje.
She doesn't even say it anymore, though. She doesn't say it.
What a shame.
But what she does say, I'll actually give you an exact quote from Lana tonight. People of America, rise to your feet and watch as this super athlete Alexander Rusev snatches R-Truth's metaphorical butt virginity the same way that Mother Russia took Crimean Peninsula from weak underpants shitting Ukrainian government. Exact. And actually, looking at Russo's much too high tights, I think we can safely say he put the bulge in Bulgaria. But
Russo?
Did I say Russo?
You said Russo. That was a Freudian
Oh,
slip.
God. Rise to your feet for Vince Rusev.
That would be a swerve.
That really would be.
I could see him booking Alexander Rusev, sadly enough, because this is kind of right in his wheelhouse.
Yeah.
He's bad because he's foreign.
Oh,
Right.
we'll get to that on Extreme Rules.
Oh, goody, yeah. They really went over the top with it. And he doesn't have a first name anymore.
I thought that
apparently,
was
just like
brilliant,
Cesaro.
by the way, at Extreme Rules, but we'll get there.
Okay. So my summary of this match: Rusev hit, Rusev crush, Rusev win by disqualification when Xavier Woods ran into the ring and jumped him. After the match,
You know
Woods
what I
and
want
Truth
from you?
once again. Oh,
Sorry. I was speaking of singing fake songs. I want that to like the Barney song. Rusev hit, Rusev crush, I don't know the rest of the
Rusev
lyrics.
punch you in the mush. We have another comment on the side, it seems.
Casey wants to know if Andy got a haircut.
I did. Hang on, I'll put my sexiness closer. Hang on.
This is
God.
great. This is great for the iTunes listeners.
Clearly.
I'll have to go back and watch the video of my sexiness.
Giving
I
us-
should always watch the video of my sexiness. I'm just saying.
Yeah. As you know, we give you visual aids.
It's true.
Hey, everybody on iTunes and Stitcher, go to youtube.com/rundown podcast and watch this episode. For
And you know where?
to see
You know where?
to see
Adam,
Andy's fancy haircut and
Adam,
razor paw.
Adam, do you know where else they should go? tinyurl.com/distant horizons to get a copy of this amazing chapbook for $2.50.
See, that wasn't even
more on that
clever.
later.
That was just you shoveling. This is just crowbarring it in there.
That is, because I didn't do it last week, so I apologize. And I may have had a couple beers tonight, so my inhibitions are a little. Aw, Casey says my haircut looks nice.
Never
She
compliments my haircuts.
She likes it so much, she just said it twice.
I only have it once on my screen, so
It showed up twice on mine.
boink.
I'll
At
screen
least it's not a Mexican calling us faggots.
this.
Oh.
Continue with SmackDown.
Continue.
Yes. So Rusev was victorious. Where was I? Oh yeah. After the match, Woods and Truth once again got the better of Rusev. They caused him to retreat up the ramp because the WWE really wants you to think they have a chance of beating him this Sunday. However, anyone who's seen Rocky IV knows how this one is going to play out. The soulless Eastern European will end up murdering his African American opponent, and Vince will still insist that the show goes on. And now it's time for Daniel Bryan to make his way to the ring, still sporting a neck brace. He's too injured to do the full two-armed yes chant, but he semi-obliges with one arm. He tells the crowd that
Yee.
he's just like all of them.
Yee.
Yeah.
Yee.
Yes. So he doesn't do the full thing, but he obliges with one arm. He tells the crowd he's just like all of them. He would do anything for his family, and Kane has now made things personal because he put his hands on Brie Bella Bryan on last week's Raw. In case you need a refresher as to how Kane went from weak corporate puppet to unstoppable monster, allow me to help out. To all the psychos out there with ladies to depress, it's easy to do. Just follow these steps. 1. Cut a hole in a box. 2. Put your mask in that box. 3. Remove the mask from the box. And that's the way you do it. It's a mask in a box. Yeah, girl. Yeah, girl.
Well played. Well played.
That's pretty much the summary of this. Just keep the mask in the box, and he will have no power to become a crazy psycho.
Yep.
It's true.
Stephanie even said it on Raw.
She did say that. She
I
basically
don't know where he is. But I can assure you, his mask is locked in a box in my office.
If he somehow puts that mask on, may God have mercy on our souls.
Then we're fucked. But as long as the mask remains locked in a glass case,
That's right.
Then we're all
Wait a
good.
minute.
free.
Wait a minute. He doesn't own more than one mask, does he? Anyway.
Wait a minute, glass isn't breakable, is it?
Yeah. Oy. And suddenly that musical recap of SmackDown I pledged a few weeks ago is starting to become a reality on this episode. I stand by my promises.
I was going to mention that.
I stand by my promises.
Because it is 150, so
It is,
that's
yeah.
something special.
So anyway, Daniel Bryan says this Sunday he will put Kane through hell, which then causes Kane to show up on the Titantron. He says that's kosher with him because he likes hell, and he'll be sure to give Daniel a tour. This cues up a montage of past Kane moments, including the segment from Raw this past Monday when he came through the ring and went after Brie. Kane then says, and I quote, "If you think me putting my hands on Brie was bad, I've just begun to show you the depths of my depravity." I think the insinuation here was pretty clear. On Sunday at Extreme Rules, Kane is going to rape Daniel Bryan's wife. He then proceeds to laugh maniacally for way too long as Daniel rips off his neck brace and stares intently at the Titantron. Now, I wanted to take this segment seriously, but in the back of my head, all I could think was, are they gonna hug? Alas.
Raccoon,
no
I have a
such luck.
question for you.
Oh, please, by all means.
Are you in the bathroom, or do you have a towel rack in your living room?
That right there,
Oh, it's
that's actually a blanket.
It's your bed. Okay.
That's a blanket sitting atop a couch.
Okay.
It's a really white couch.
The couch, yeah, the couch blended in with the walls, while itself was the black bar, and it looked like a towel rack. All right. Anyway.
No problem.
Moving on.
I'm here to help. I'm here to help.
Of course.
Sometimes some of the trash from the garbage can here stains the couch, and that's unfortunate.
That's why you never get a white couch.
That's right. Big time error in judgment on my part. Next up, Dolph Ziggler versus holy fuck Damien Sandow is still dressing up as Magneto. Remember when Sandow's gimmick was that he was an intellectual and therefore above all of the childish, imbecilic nonsense that other wrestlers pulled? Just checking. Shockingly, Ziggler picks up the victory when he hits Magneto with the zigzag for the 3 count. I suppose Sandow can now move on to his next feud with Professor Xavier Woods.
I don't know if that was Ziggler, or if that was Sandow or not, because Magneto had a different theme song.
That's true. That is true. A pretty sweet theme song.
Professor Xavier Woods. That's classic.
Bill points out that Kane raped Lita, so Kane raping Brie Bella is certainly possible.
That's a very good point.
That is true.
Yeah, and then she lost that child, but it was not Snitsky's fault.
It was not Snitsky's fault at all.
Not his fault one bit. Next up, WWE Intercontinental Champion Big Ern McCracken versus Tight Ass O'Neil. Strangely, Titus dominated this entire match and showed an aggressive streak, throwing Big E over the commentator's table, then punching him and kicking him nonstop once he threw him back in the ring. The referee, apparently unhappy with all of the wrestling moves being used, disqualified Titus for being too aggressive. That's a great way to make your Intercontinental Champion look strong during a rare TV appearance, huh? Yeah. After the match, Big E jumped Titus and beat the crap out of him, which continues tonight's theme. A match cannot just end. There must be another fight immediately after it's over. Every single match. I don't know if you noticed that. Every single fucking match. So Big E whipped Titus into the ringside barrier. Then humorously, Titus's leg accidentally got caught in the cord to one of the cameras, and he fell flat on his fucking face. We then got another botched moment as Big E was presumably trying to throw Titus over the announce table, but Titus slipped and was instead thrown head first into the side of the table. Yeah.
Titus ended up losing a handicap match against Big E in Gravity on SmackDown.
That's pretty much what it was.
Sounds like it.
Now, Big E eventually did throw Titus over the table, then tossed him back into the ring where he posed with one foot on Titus's chest. Now, had Big E's Extreme Rules opponent been around to watch that segment, he likely would have said, "I'm afraid I've got some bad news. Not every botch on a pre-tape show is able to be edited out." Truth indeed. And now it's time for a backstage Wyatt family segment.
Afraid I've got some good news, because not that many people watch SmackDown in the first place, so
That's
not
true.
so many people saw you fall on your ass.
Good news, Barrett!
Yeah.
Good News Barrett is my new favorite character.
Yeah. Unique to the rundown, only on the internet.
Exactly.
Brought to you by
Exclusively on the internet.
some insurance company. Anyway,
No, not yet. Not until they give me money, they're not.
that's true.
Anyway.
15% or more could save you $15 on car insurance.
See, we've got our own.
Adam Rose, is that you?
I could totally tell her that we have our own mascot, like the gecko. We could totally we've got a raccoon and everything.
Anyway.
Yep.
That's,
Sorry, man.
Another
That's
story
neither
for
here nor
another
there.
off-show time.
Anyway,
That's right.
continue on.
I'm not plagiarizing because I said it would save you $15 on car insurance.
Oh,
See?
nice.
Anywho.
Anyway.
So now it's time for a Backstage Wyatt family segment. It begins with a record player playing an audio recording of one of the kids from the past Monday's Raw singing "He's Got the Whole World in His Hands," but Bray Wyatt then pushes the needle off it to stop the music, which is hopefully a sign that we don't have to hear that fucking song anymore. This is the children on Raw.
Please.
Yeah, I know. He then says the children on Raw this past week tore out Cena's heart and handed it to Bray, and he says they trust him because, quote, "I believe the children are the future." So there you have it. The next song Bray Wyatt will overplay to death will be the classic Whitney Houston ballad, "The Greatest Love of All." Can't wait. He says when he climbs out of the steel cage this Sunday, spoiler, now we know his strategy, he's taking the whole C Nation with him, and then Cena will have nothing left. well, aside from his millions of dollars and slutty girlfriend who he presumably engages in hot twincest action with. Other than that, nothing.
Millions of dollars, millions of dollars, millions of dollars, millions of dollars.
Right.
Twincest. Ugh.
You know what's happened.
Ha, probably.
And now, it's time for your main event, a Fatal Foreskin United States Championship match. Yes, seriously, Dean Titty Master Ambrose is actually defending his United States title for the first time since, and I may have to check the facts on this one, the first Bush administration. And unfortunately for the WWE's resident areola artist, his Shield partners have been banned from ringside. So we have Dean Ambrose versus Alberto Del Rio versus Ryback versus Curtis Asshole. And for Josh's reference, Michael Cole is still referring to Ryback as the big guy, so we can state definitively that Cole was a rundown listener. This match teased some friction between Team Ryback as Ryback went to clothesline Del Rio, but Alberto ducked and he hit Curtis instead. Del Rio then put Ryback in the cross arm breaker, but in a nifty spot, Ryback lifted Alberto up, got him on his shoulders, and hit him with the shell shock. However, Asshole pulled Ryback out of the ring before he could pin Del Rio. Then Ambrose reemerged from being outside the ring and rolled up Asshole for the 3 count and the successful title retention. Shockingly, and let me know if you've heard this before, immediately after the match was over, we had another brawl as Ryback and Asshole started beating up Ambrose. However, Reigns and Rollins made the save, culminating with a Superman punch and triple powerbomb for Axel. The Shield stood tall as Friday Night Smackdown went off the air, and the fans can rest assured that Dean Ambrose is still the proud owner of a belt, which I'm sure he will have for a long, long time. Your thoughts on Friday Night Smackdown?
Ryback continues his streak of getting almost injured in ridiculously stupid ways.
Oh, really? What did he do?
What did he do? Now I can't remember, but something ridiculous. And then Curtis Axel's foot was definitely under the rope when he grabbed the other rope to stop the pinfall, but that's just me.
Did you notice how goddamn ridiculous it looked like after Curtis Axel pulled Ryback out of the ring and Del Rio was still down in the ring? Like, Axel climbed into the ring and he was doing a thing like he was reaching his arm out. He kept like reaching his arm out like he was air swimming in slow motion for no reason whatsoever, and then Ambrose just ran in and pinned him.
Yeah.
It looked incredibly goddamn
I
ridiculous.
don't remember what Ryback did now.
Ryback. Oh, I don't know.
Bill says Rolled Up Asshole is the name of my new death metal band.
Rolled up asshole? All right.
Nice.
If your asshole is so long you can roll it up, I have to give you credit.
It's a sleeve or something. That's weird.
Yeah,
Ask Luke Harper.
that's right. Fanny fisting.
Moving
So
on
you
to
gotta start like this. No, sorry. Anyway. Lisa Lampanelli joke. I apologize.
Fuck that woman. She's not funny.
I think she's hilarious, but anyway.
Your panel this evening is Josh Matthews, CCH Pounder, Alex Riley, and special guest Sheamus.
We're on Extreme Rules now, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
First, we discuss Kane versus Daniel. They show Torito and Swoggle preparing for WeLC. Then we look back to Bray creeping Cena out on Raw. WeLC begins, and it's just as offensive as you'd imagine. We've got
shockingly, apparently not a bad match according to what I've read.
Yeah, I've heard. I didn't watch it, but I heard it was a great match.
What it was worth. We've got a special guest commentary booth consisting of Jerry Smaller, Micro Cole, and WeBL, later called JB Elf, played by my friend Rob Aruja.
Hey, all right.
There's a mini ring announcer who is terrible. He screws up twice during his intro announcements, calling it a WeLCC match, and calling him Hornwoggle.
Oh my God!
And a mini referee. There's also a mini ladder, a larger mini ladder, a mini chair, and a mini table that we don't get to see the first time because it gets used during a commercial break. We even get a mini commentary table spot.
Oh no.
The crowd in East Rutherford chants, "This is awesome," and I can only hope they're being sarcastic.
Are you sure it wasn't "This is awful"?
No, it was awesome.
Oh.
Torito, I didn't care so much that I forgot to write down the ending. Torito pins Hornswoggle after springboard off seated senton through a mini table.
Yep.
Anyway. Backstage, Byron Saxton is with Jack and Zeb. Zeb cuts a boring promo. Back to panel for some more stuff. Let's get on with it!
Yeah.
Your opening video is a nice montage of all the big storylines going into the show. Enter RVD for your opening contest. Enter Swagger and Zeb. Enter Heyman to gloat about being extreme and how the WWE only gets it right one night a year. Also, in case you were unaware, Brock Lesnar beat the streak at WrestleMania.
Oh, I hadn't heard that.
The 13th commandment of Extreme is that you do not boo Paul Heyman, and you do not boo his newest client, Cesaro.
Wait a second, there are 13 commandments?
There are now.
Wow.
This is now an elimination triple threat match, by the way. Not sure when that happened, but anyway.
I think it was announced that way.
Swagger out first following an apron superplex into a 5-star frog splash. There's some confusion at commentary about whether or not he was eliminated when a replay shows the referee clearly counted to 3 and Swagger did not move. So
maybe they didn't realize it was an elimination match.
Yeah, so I don't know what that was about. Yeah.
They're like, wait a minute, he wasn't supposed to win the match. What is going on?
That'd be
it must have been it too.
Cesaro avoids a 5-star and RVD gets all can and then busts up his face. Then a neutralizer on the same can gives Cesaro the pinfall victory. Hooray!
Yeah.
Kind of lackluster with being an extreme match. Anything goes. They didn't really use anything.
It was a good opener, though.
I mean, it was a good opener. I just thought that if you're going to go extreme, go
it wasn't an extreme match.
little.
It was just a triple threat match.
Well, but they were using items without being disqualified, so.
That's because it's
you can't be disqualified in a triple threat.
Disqualifications in a triple threat match.
Well, there you
Actually,
go,
maybe you can. If it's elimination, maybe you can.
Yeah, well, they didn't. Anyway. Backstage, Daniel is getting checked on when Steph appears. She wants to make sure he's fit to fight tonight. Steph's also concerned that Daniel will get reduced by a factor of 10. She offers him the opportunity to surrender the title instead of facing Kane. He, of course, turns her down, and she postulates that tonight Kane will make him his bitch. Then we get a Bo Leave video. Enter the ravishing Russian. Lana talks about Putin for some reason. Hooray for cheap heat!
Oh, yeah.
Dedicates the match to the Russian president. Enter Rusev, who has apparently moved to Russia.
Yeah,
from Bulgaria.
they gave up on that pretty quick, right? They're like, well, we're not even going to bother trying to make this distinction between Russia and Bulgaria anymore. It's just he's Russian now. He's Russian.
Thankfully, R-Truth does not rap, but instead dedicates the match to the United States of America.
Hey, all right.
Sure.
That's like when Gail Kim all of a sudden was from Korea. Like that was.
Really?
I remember one night
she
was all of a sudden she was always billed from Canada, and then one show when she was a heel from Korea. I'm like, they didn't even give a city. It's just Korea. What the hell?
Or which Korea?
Yeah, which Korea and which city in Korea? But anyway.
I would assume they were referencing the North, which would have been awesome.
Yeah.
So yes, Truth dedicates this match to the United States of America and then proceeds to tap to the accolade in about 3 minutes.
Go USA.
Rusev then fall away slams Woods outside, then a commercial for candy. Lillian then talks about the USA. Yeah. Uno mas.
Uno mas.
Lillian then talks about the USA Special Olympics, USA Games, USA. There are some Special Olympians in the audience.
Hey, that's you.
And the games are in New Jersey. Extreme. Renee is backstage with Evolution. They have new shirts on.
They're really
You
stupid.
call it Evolution because that's how Lemmy says it in the theme song?
Probably. Intercontinental title time. Wade has got some bad news. Apparently some sort of major illness is about to make landfall in the United States, but the sickness we'll feel is nothing compared to the sickness Big E will feel when he loses his championship.
Here's my question.
Depressing.
Yeah.
He is depressing, and he plays up this role where he antagonizes the crowd, yet the crowd eats him up.
Yay.
His gimmick is not working, or I don't know. It just doesn't. There's a disconnect there, and it bothers me.
I'm okay with it.
It bothers me.
Enter Big E. Is Big E kicking out of the winds of change and the wasteland because they're at a special event, or because those aren't really Wade's finishers anymore?
They're not his finishers anymore.
Yeah.
Although I still like the Wasteland, but oh well.
Yeah.
I like them.
Big E ducks the first bull hammer. Wade then squirms out of the big ending. E ducks another, both off the ropes, flying bull hammer, and we've got a new Intercontinental Champion.
Woo.
I like the fact that he turns the elbow pad inside out when he does the bull hammer. It's like, oh shit, the elbow pad is red now.
When it's red, it's dangerous.
Oh, doesn't red mean stop?
Regular.
Oh, okay.
Then a commercial for fake WWE Lego. And an Adam Rose vignette. Up next, Shield versus Evolution. The video package for this match is longer than the handicap match. Enter Evolution, Triple H sporting black trunks, Orton sporting black trunks, Batista sporting red trunks. Close enough. Enter Shield, and everyone brawls until the Shield clear the ring. At one point, Ambrose locks the figure 4 on Randy to the woos of the crowd, and when Hunter breaks it up by fist-dropping Dean in the face, Dean just kind of flops unconscious, leaving Randy to semi-awkwardly slide himself out of the hold.
Nice.
Well done, Dean.
Shouldn't that have counted as a pinfall? If Dean Ambrose was flat on his back, the figure 4 counts as a pinfall, you know.
Well, no, because Randy slid himself out of the... Anyway.
Oh.
It was weird. Anyway. Easy bomb on Batista, but the other two pull Roman out of the ring to make the save. Kind of scary spot where Hunter sidesteps a suicide dive and Seth Rollins flies directly from the ring into the barricade.
Yeah.
Hunter with Seth Rollins.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hunter pedigrees Roman and tries to pull Batista on top, but Dean takes Hunter out. Batista manages an arm over Roman, but Roman kicks out. An RKO on Roman leads to Seth breaking up the pin at the last possible moment. Mad props to the cameraman who fell over backwards and kept filming from his ass during a brawl outside. Ambrose runs both announce tables and then leaps onto Hunter and Roman to save Seth from a beating. Seth and Hunter and Randy and Dean then fight into the crowd, leaving Batista and Roman alone in the ring. Randy knocks Dean down a flight of bleacher stairs. Seth then leaps from atop a vomitorium onto all three of them.
Frickin' amazing.
Jeff Hardy style.
I heard that was a good spot. I haven't seen it yet, though.
Spot
You got
of
the
night.
network. Watch the damn pay-per-view.
I was out.
Sorry.
I was watching Game of Thrones.
Yes, but
It's
you
all- it's
have
still-
the
you can still
network,
watch it
is my
now.
point. You have the network. You can watch it whenever you want. Meanwhile, back in the ring, Batista signals for a Batista bomb, but a Superman punch and a spear put him down for good. What a fucking insane match.
That was good.
In a good
Awesome.
way.
Awesome. Incredible. Then a commercial for Old Fuck Shack.
It went from good to great.
On the side, Casey says, "Who is Orton?" I don't know.
I don't know. What is that in reference to? She knows who Randy Orton is.
Well, she said, "Heh," so I think she was joking.
I think it's hee. No, it's hee.
Unless you're George Bush.
Yeah, I was going to say you're doing a George W. Bush laugh there. Who's Orton?
Perfect. Hey, look,
She says he is totally irrelevant now.
he's
Get
totally
it?
irrelevant now.
Get it?
Oh.
Hee.
Got it. Well, that is true. They're trying to make him relevant by reforming Evolution, but then Batista's going to leave, so completely irrelevant.
We'll fight him over there, so don't have to fight him over here. Hey, look, a steel cage. Let's have a promo video for this match.
Oh, let's have
Enter Cena. Some of the crowd try singing over his theme song, but it doesn't work out that well for them, sadly. I saw it, Center. We're here.
Did he actually say Izod Center
Yep.
instead of the town they were in?
Yep.
Yeah.
Where were they?
New Jersey somewhere.
East Rutherford.
Oh, okay. I guess that's a little better.
Match begins with a loud "Let's Go Wyatt" chant from the crowd. It looks like Cena's going to have to pin Wyatt to win because Harper and Rowan are prowling around the ringside.
The problem is, he doesn't try to pin him. He continuously tries to climb over the fucking cage knowing they're there.
Surprise,
Every
John Cena's a
fucking
moron.
time.
Yeah.
Surprise! Horrible psychology that he should
John
have
Cena's a
known
moron.
better. No, they should have known better. It was
Well,
stupid psychology.
Anyway, we'll get to that.
See, that's why I used to like the cage matches back in the old days, where you physically had to escape, as
Right.
opposed to the ones where now you can just pin the guy. So it's like, why is there even a cage there in the first place?
Well,
Or why have the people who aren't sanctioned as managers out there?
Or that.
Because they're a family.
Oh my God.
Lawler wonders aloud if the crowd's been brainwashed by Bray Wyatt. No, King, we just know an entertaining gimmick when we see one.
Brainwashed.
Yeah, there you go. Bray Wyatt crab walks towards the door, which is an image I will see in my head forever. We get a stupid Super Cena spot with him almost overpowering both Rowan and Harper to open the cage door, but they quickly make up for it with a genius spot where Rowan climbs up where Cena is climbing down, puts Cena on his shoulders, and climbs Cena back into the cage.
Wow. That sounds pretty badass.
That was pretty awesome.
That's
Cena almost wins by climbing over and kicking the door into Bray's face, but Rowan is there with
Ow.
a chair. Another couple interesting almost escapes leads to a super AA, but the pin is broken up by Harper, who ended up in the ring when Cena pulled him in at some other point. It's bizarre. Match seems over. Bray and Harper out in the ring, Rowan out on top of the cage, and Cena about out the door when suddenly, sheep cut. We hear a creepy, warbled version of everyone's new favorite song, and we sheep cut back to a small boy in a black robe singing into a microphone.
Yep.
This creeps John right into his sister Abigail, and Bray and friends just stroll out the door.
The little kid who I mentioned on the pre-show, for those of you listening on the podcast, the little kid is the same kid from those commercials with Cam Newton, where he says, "I can grow up and be big and strong like you, and play in the NFL, and become your mom's favorite player, and make Panthers fans forget about you." It's that same kid.
I'm just kidding. We then go up to panel, because fuck momentum. Andy, you seem to have a lot to say about this match.
I don't know. I've kind of said it. I just think that if you're going to have a cage match, and the idea is there are these people prowling around outside, and you're trying to keep them way out of the ring, you just have to go for the pinfall. Like, it didn't make sense that he's like, "Oh, I'm going to try to climb the cage again. Oh, there he is. He's coming after me."
How does he always know where I'm climbing?
Right, and it's not necessarily even his fault.
I don't think it should be a surprise.
The booking of the match.
I don't think it should be a surprise that John Cena is a fucking moron.
Well, I just think the booking of it was all wrong. If you're gonna have that, keep the Wyatts backstage and then have them come out at some point, like later, and stop him and do that cool spot where they climb him back into the ring or whatever. But don't have him there the entire time. It just made no sense.
I didn't mind it. I thought it was a good match.
Yeah.
I didn't watch the pay-per-view, so I'm just going by what you guys are saying.
That's my method, usually.
The only part I saw, I did see the very end of the main event, but that was it.
Well, we'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah.
After a recap of WeLC, enter Tamina, who my wife insists Cole called the son of Jimmy Superfly Snuka.
That's an honest mistake.
I wasn't really paying attention. Enter Paige. Paige retains her title with the Scorpion Crosslock after getting her butt kicked for
about 6.5 minutes. I counted.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's not bad, considering they never give them pay-per-view time at all.
Apparently there was a ref botch too, but I missed it.
Oh. So she actually got Tamina up for the Scorpion Crosslock thing, whatever it's called?
Yeah.
Pretty good. Pretty good. I wish they would have given her more of a character than just so far what she's been, which is just like, hey, she showed up and that's it.
That was actually Trish's complaint. Trish complained this week that none of the divas have any sort of
character. Yeah,
character
if you
They don't, unless they're on
anything.
Total Divas and you can extrapolate their real-life selves.
If you go,
let's put some quotes around the phrase "real life." We'll get to that.
Yeah, real.
if you go back and you watch, you will listen to the episode of Jim Ross's podcast with her. She has a lot to say about the Divas today and that issue. It's really interesting.
Right. The problem is, it's obvious that nobody cares about the Divas division enough to actually. The last major storyline we got in the Divas division was AJ versus Total Divas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
the pipe bombshell.
And yeah, the pipe bombshell, and that devolved into nothing within a couple of weeks.
Yeah. Basically, the only thing I know about Paige.
A bunch of 12 diva tag matches that nobody gave a shit about.
Right.
Yeah.
Alicia Fox has turned face and heel more times in the past year than I can count on two hands.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It all depends on who she's teaming with that week.
Yeah, the only thing I know about Paige, from a character perspective, is she apparently as a character, she wanted her on-camera Raw debut to be congratulating AJ because she said she wasn't ready to wrestle, despite the fact that she was dressed to wrestle. So, as far as I can tell, she's an idiot.
She's an idiot?
But
She's been working toward this for 9 years since she was 12. Okay, leave her alone.
Got it.
Being able to watch NXT now, I am hopeful for the future of the division because in NXT there are a number of divas who can actually fucking wrestle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd rather be in Charlotte.
Oh Lord.
As opposed to, say, the Bella Twats or the Dunkafactals. Anyway. Yes. Sheepcut and Bray is praising the creepy child, Little Johnny. Little Johnny gets to say, "Follow the buzzards" in the creepy voice.
Do you think he's related to little Jimmy?
Put the lotion in the basket.
Put the lotion in the basket. Follow the buzzards.
Let's stop that.
Main event video package time. Enter
Was she
Daniel
a great
Bryan.
big fat person?
Randy's about a size of 13. Why do you ask? All right, that's a completely different reference. Anyway, enter Daniel Bryan first because he's the champion. Fuck that. And we then get the announcement that Payback will be live on...
Did you just say fuck Daniel Bryan being the champion?
I think he did.
I think he did.
Fuck the champion entering first. The champion...
Yeah, I was gonna say, like,
first.
he's taking over my role here.
Yeah, that's right. Andy is the one who hates Daniel Bryan, for those of you.
We then get the announcement that Payback will be live on June 1st. 2 June pay-per-views, none in July, then, I assume.
In Chicago, I think. I think
That's
tickets
right.
probably are already sold out, or else I'd see about going.
Oh yeah, there will certainly be no CM Punk chance during that during that show.
Not during that show at all.
Enter Kane, and Daniel goes right after him. After a fun romp around ringside, they brawl to the back and onto what I assume was pre-tape, because it kind of looked like pre-tape.
Yeah, they were pretty big on that shit this week.
The fight makes its way to the parking lot, where Daniel eventually knocks out Kane with a tire iron that mysteriously doesn't clang or bounce when he drops it on the concrete
Yeah, I
floor.
noticed it too.
It just kind of...
fell. Like it was filled with sand.
Kane punched out a window, too, which must have hurt.
Goldberg style.
And
Oh, God.
Daniel threw an air tank at him, and it went through the windshield of a different car.
That was pretty awesome, actually.
That was fun.
So wait, a majority of this match took place like in pre-tape backstage.
Maybe not a majority, but a good.
Do you think it was really?
chunk.
Do you think it was really pre-taped?
It seemed it to me.
Really?
Oh, he also threw a live TV into a bucket of water.
Did it spark?
Yeah,
It
that was
did spark.
that was awesome.
Mm.
They did a
It
good
spark.
job with the effects.
What was the context for that? For
He
throwing
was-
a television into a
Kane
bucket?
He
of
was
water?
trying to hit Daniel
Kane
Bryan
was throwing the TV at Daniel Bryan, and Daniel Bryan moved.
because
And
there's
knocked it out.
obviously there's a giant bucket of like huge vat of water just sitting backstage for everyone.
No, it had the water bottles in it.
Oh, okay. So I didn't catch exactly.
Yeah.
I just remember like
It was a
all
big
of a
garbage.
sudden-
It was a big garbage can. One of those big.
It was a
plastic
trough
garbage
for all the horses backstage.
Yes, it was one of those big plastic garbage cans full of, assumedly, ice water and bottles of water for the
for
sports
for all the Lillian Garcias. Is that what you said?
Right. Anyway, I don't know. Actually, I don't know if it was pre-tape or not. It seemed like it would like it should have been based on how they've done things in the past. But the fact that after the whole TV and the water thing, they were having some static issues on the commentary microphones. But anyway, I don't know. Anyway. Yes, mysterious tire iron. Daniel then drags Kane onto a forklift and brings him back to live, since Extreme Rules matches still have to end in the ring for some reason.
Judy Bagwell style.
He then forklifts Kane over the top ropes and dumps him into the ring. Well, he tilts the forks, and Kane kind of dump rolls himself off the pallet into the ring. Bryan then climbs onto the pallet, still high in the air, and murder-suicides Kane. And after all that, Kane kicks out.
Nice.
He
He was wearing the mighty mask.
This was my point of this. That spot should have been the end of the match.
It should have been, but at the same time, with all the setup and all the driving, you're just kind of bored. Like I was bored by it, honestly.
Yeah.
Like the driving out to the ring and all that. I'm
the
thinking,
main event
okay,
The main event was kind
they're
of
gonna end it like that way. Yeah.
Bryan, instead of doing anything about it, then yosses until Kane sits up. Then they slightly botch a running knee into a choke slam spot, and Kane pins Bryan for 2. The chair in the ring that was broken by a sidewalk slam has somehow healed and was used as a DDT landing platform for a 2 count, and then to beat the hell out of Kane. That's followed by a yes lock. Kane drags himself to a kendo stick and tries to beat his way out, but Daniel takes the stick and uses it against Kane in the yes lock. Kane drags himself out of the ring to break the hold, then counters a suicide dive with a choke slam through the announce table. The crowd starts chanting for the Spanish table. I'm pretty sure I figured out the table code. The Spanish table had a gray top with visible strips of tape on it, and that's the same table that did not break during the Tombstone Piledriver on Monday Night Raw. Meanwhile, the English table had a black top, and crushed like a twig. Anyway, while I was describing that, Kane took a table, gasoline, and a lighter from beneath the ring and did his thing with it. If he can light the turnposts with his hands, why does he have to use a lighter to light a table on? Anyway.
It's a very fair point. And by the way, as I noticed, this is when I tuned in, like right as this was happening.
Right.
Like when Kane pulled out the table, you could see in the background an attendant with a fire extinguisher as soon as he pulled the table out. So I was like, I think I can see where this is going.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They were damn quick to extinguish that.
He lights each end of the table, then gets elbow. He didn't get elbowed through to get ring bounced through it. Anyway. Ring crew rush in with fire extinguishers and blast Kane and the table with them, even while Kane is rolling back into the ring.
Yeah.
Yes, despite the fact that he never actually remotely caught on fire.
Running a knee off this distraction, and Daniel Bryan retains the WWE World Heavyweight Championship.
What a bad ending.
Yeah. Daniel
This
Bryan.
feud's not over, folks.
Yeah. Daniel Bryan celebrates his way down the aisle, and Kane makes some more fire on the posts and on the set, and his theme song plays as we go off the air. What?
Stupid.
My instant analysis that I posted on Facebook still pretty much holds up for me. I gave the show an A-, because though
not a B plus,
not an E plus either, because though the main event was kind of lacking, the Shield versus Evolution match was amazing.
Yeah, that makes up for it.
I enjoyed the cage match. I liked the way it ended. I thought that was nice.
Ending was good. The psychology throughout was bad.
The Divas match was actually watchable.
Yeah, it was very good.
Because it had
and you
Paige in
loved
it.
WLC.
And Wade Barrett won the Intercontinental Championship. So, A- from me.
Is this number 4 for Wade Barrett?
Yes.
Okay. Just
Hopefully this one does not kill his career momentum like all of the last ones have.
Yeah. I'm amazed the bad news thing has actually caught on because I didn't think it would.
I was not a fan of it at first, but he has made it work for me.
We'll see how long it can last.
I'm a fan of it.
It's their first attempt at giving him an actual character since Nexus.
Yeah.
Or the Core, excuse me. Yep. Which we can all pretend never happened.
Yeah. Moving on to Raw, live in Albany, New York. We open with the Shield entering for what Michael Cole says is calling a unique United States Championship defense, a 20-man over-the-top rope battle royal.
Mm-hmm.
I missed some of the middle of the battle royal to prevent my DVR from exploding, but your last 6 are Rybaxel, Santino, Ambrose, Swagger, and Sheamus.
By the way, just can I just note the sad fact, and I don't think even the crowd could believe it, that Santino eliminated Dolph Ziggler with the Cobra?
Dolph Ziggler was number 7.
Yes.
He was eliminated by the Cobra. Fuck you.
Yeah, the crowd did not like that.
The crowd turns quickly on the match with a boring chant. Your last 2 are Dean Ambrose and Sheamus, who brogue kicks Dean and tosses him to win the United States Championship.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Of all people.
Well,
Dean is pissed. I was too. Hunter comes out to gloat. Tonight's main event is Shield versus Wyatt's. Also tonight, an Intercontinental Title Championship rematch.
Do you think this is going to lead to a Sheamus heel turn?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay.
That is the
Let's
rumor.
hope so.
That is the rumor. Adam Rose debuts tonight on Raw, then a replay of what happened before break, Goldfish. Renee is backstage with Sheamus. Sheamus is ready to get his career moving again, and tonight was the perfect opportunity for him to make that move. We then get a photo recap of the main event last night. Backstage, Daniel and Bree are hanging out when there's a knock at the door. It's Steph. Kane is even more pissed now, so watch out. She urges them not to leave his locker room until his match later. Bree then very convincingly points to a crappy-looking replica Kane mask hanging from the back of their locker room door.
Yeah, which is what they didn't see that there before.
Enter RVD. Paul Heyman appears when we return. Brock Lesnar conquered the streak at WrestleMania. He brings out Cesaro, unsurprisingly. Pretty good match. Ends with Cesaro getting himself disqualified on a referee's 5 count. 2 shitty match endings in a row. What fun. The new deal for the network is a referral bonus of a $25 WWE Shop gift card for each friend referred. More on that in a little bit.
You could buy a couple sheep masks with that.
Hey, Adam, you want a WWE Network subscription?
Only if you change your password. I mean, what? What?
Wait, what?
What?
Wait, who? What?
Sheep cut. Albany. We're here. At Legends House? Neither of you watched Raw, so you won't get that. Oh, you didn't?
I watched Raw.
So, yeah, it cut from Albany, we're here, directly into a commercial for Legends House.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Back with the Wyatts in the ring for a creepy promo. Abigail told Bray that one day he would change the world, and he believed every word she said. Last night, Bray Wyatt became somebody. We then get a nice replay of Little Johnny and his creepy speech impediment. The crowd cheers this replay.
Is Little Johnny at all related to Big Johnny? Not related to Little Jimmy, but could be related to Big Johnny.
Hang on.
Mm-hmm.
If memory serves me, when Heidenreich first debuted,
Who?
he kept making reference to a Little Johnny that everyone thought was his penis.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is Heidenreich?
But here we are, 12 years later.
Is Heidenreich in the Wyatt family?
I'd believe it.
Maybe.
He's going to have to investigate that.
It could be.
He did rape Michael Cole.
That's true, and read him some geloatry.
And the Wyatts have raped Kane before, as we know. So
Bray admits to being a monster and wanting to watch the world burn. He wants the world to burn so that it can be reborn.
Why does that sound familiar? Watch the world burn. That sounds familiar.
They will see him as a god.
Or as the Joker from The Dark Knight.
Let's sing, shall we? Later tonight, the Intercontinental title rematch plus Shield versus Wyatts.
Some men just want to watch the world burn.
Ryback already running up to the top 10 network list. Enter the Antique Roadshow. Goldust is again wearing a mask of his own face, and that's just weird. Looks like it's Cody versus Ryback this evening. We get a replay of Cody accidentally eliminating Goldie, then getting eliminated by Ryback from the main event, from the Battle Royal at the top of the show. Goldust, sorry, a little distracted there. Cody hits Ryback with a disaster kick, then gets distracted by Axel. Goldust goes for Axel, but Axel runs Goldie into the turnpost that Cody is atop. This somehow manages to knock Cody off balance because physics, and directly into a shell shock for the pinfall.
Sad.
Backstage, Daniel and Brie are nervous. The lights go out, there's some bad acting, and the crappy replica Kane mask that appears on a lamp. So Daniel and Brie are walking in a hall. Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous. So Daniel and Brie are walking in a hallway where they run into Steph. Steph offers to get their car brought into the building. Don't ask, just stay put. This is fucking awful.
I'm just gonna put it out there. There's just a quick conspiracy theory. Is Kane the one dressing in Kane's suit and mask? Because we're not. She's the one who's all like, "Oh, don't do that, don't do that." Oh, something bad just happened to you. I think Steph is dressing up as Kane.
It could be. I'd pay to see that.
We come back for a photo recap of WeLC. During the break, the ring has been made stereotypically racist because it's Cinco de Mayo. All right. Something about a party. They're interrupted by 3MB, and this goes from bad to worse. More racism, and the crowd chants USA, USA. May I note, the only person in the ring from the USA is Heath goddamn Slater.
Oh, what about Hornswoggle?
I don't know where he's billed from. He lives under the ring.
That's right. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. My mistake.
Blah, blah. New quote for the Stinger. You'll hear that at the end of the show. No one cares about this. Later tonight, Intercontinental, 6-man, whatever. Bo Leave. When we come back, Kofi Kingston is in the ring. He's being fed to Rusev tonight. Justin introduces Lana, whose Titantron has changed. She's proud to be Russian, by way of Florida. She talks more about Putin because Rusev is really in desperate need of cheap heat, apparently. Rusev is the newest recipient of a first namectomy, courtesy of WWE Creative.
Mm-hmm.
Aw.
Kingston eventually taps to the accolade. The Xbox One has the WWE Network now. Then we go backstage for Daniel loading Brie into a car and walking around all trepidatious.
Took them long enough.
Trepidatious, that's my $65 word
That's
today.
nice.
Bravo.
We then go inside the car where Steph scares the bejesus out of Brie by knocking on the window.
May I interrupt you for half a second, though?
What?
Why pay $65 for words when you can get all kinds of words for $2.50 in this little chapbook of poetry, Chasing Distant Horizons, available in PDF format at tinyurl.com/Distant Horizons.
More on that later.
That was clever. That was clever.
Yeah, you like that?
Anyway, we then go inside the car where Steph scares the bejesus out of Brie by knocking on the window to tell Daniel that they can't leave just yet
She forgot her tampons?
because Daniel has a match next, and if he doesn't fight, it will be considered a breach of contract, and he'll lose the WWE World Championship.
I will just say regarding Steph knocking on the window, I did get a laugh. I don't know if it was intentional or not, where she knocks on the window and she's like, "Oh, sorry, these heavy hands," or whatever it
Well,
was.
that was a reference to the knock on the door because it was a very
just-
solid
said it.
knock on the door. She's like,
Yeah.
heavy
I thought it was amusing. I don't know why.
Oh, Jesus. This is like the world's worst horror movie.
Even
Enter-
worse than the
Yes.
Embrace the Hate feud.
Yes, because
Really?
that at least didn't involve the WWE goddamn champion.
Good point.
Bill chimes in with Lana talking about Putin. Always makes me giggle. Talking about the president of Russia, not farting. Bill, I'm sorry.
If Lana was Putin, it would probably still be pretty attractive.
Why do you think when she comes out before she announces everything, she walks to the center of the stage and does a little twirl and then walks back to her
Yep.
spot?
Check out my Russian dumper.
Oh my God.
My Russian
Check
dumper.
out
Is,
my Russian dumper.
my Russian dumper is the name of my next book.
Excellent.
It's a children's book. Enter Daniel and Brie when we return. Daniel is facing Alberto, who's already in the ring. Not Batista, like it should have been, but somebody didn't want to play ball. Not a bad match.
Is it because basketballs don't hold grudges?
Exactly. Daniel wins with the yes lock. This is quickly followed by a Kane explosion. Daniel and Brie book it up the ramp and out, and we get an awkward
Because
crowd
they're
shot.
colossal pussies.
Yeah, and we get an awkward crowd shot until we can cut to pre-tape in the back. Their car won't start because someone unplugged something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
And they never check the back seat. Anybody in a horror movie knows you always check the back seat. Maybe they felt secure because a cameraman was back there earlier.
When Daniel drops the hood, Kane's in the back seat. Daniel and Kane fight, then Daniel drives off while Kane awkwardly paws at him through the sunroof.
Mm.
Don't get you.
And as I was saying to you before the show was on the air, how many goddamn times did Brie scream during that segment? The whole thing, yeah. The whole thing was just her going, ah, 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 the entire fucking time.
Come on, Nikki.
Yeah.
Daniel and Kane fight, then Daniel drives off while Kane awkwardly paws at him through the sunroof. Kane falls off, and Daniel gets out to check on him.
It's like exactly. It's exactly like Friday the 13th.
The crowd,
Like, he's dead.
the
He's
crowd
dead.
chants-
Just leave the body.
The crowd chants, "Run him over," which
Yeah.
I do not disagree with.
Would've been smart.
Kane sits up, Daniel gets back in the car, Kane paws at the trunk, and Daniel peels out and away from the arena. Sweet motherfucking Christ.
That's the last
That's
time they ever
amazing.
taped Raw at Camp Crystal Lake.
Oh my God.
This sounds amazing.
We come
Yeah,
back.
by all means, go check it out. Go look it up. It's amazing for
I'm-
some reasons.
We come back from
have to.
break for a replay of what happened before break. Double goldfish. And motherfuck, why? Ugh.
Wow.
Intercontinental title time. Enter Big E as our new Intercontinental Champion. Wade has got some bad news.
Dun-dun-dun-dun.
There's going to be some changes in the WWE. Everyone has to get plastic surgery because they're too damn ugly and slobby to be worthy of Wade as champion.
That's a bit too obvious there. Too easy.
Wade retains after a good but a little short match. Breaking news!
Just like we all see.
Just like Josh. That's all.
John Cena responds to Bray Wyatt live tomorrow night on the WWE Network. By the way, the commercial for this Sunday's episode of Twaddle D-Bags portrays the episode's drama as stemming from Summer Rae tagging herself in a 6 or 8 Diva tag match on Raw and cutting Eva Marie completely out of the match. And people think this show is legit.
Hey, I think Summer Rae did us a favor. Would you want to see Eva Marie wrestle?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to say the creative team that wrote that shit did us a favor.
Where has Eva Marie been? She hasn't even been on TV yet. Well, I guess she was in that dumbass WrestleMania match for, I don't know, about a queef or two, but that was it.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Going from bad to worse, we come back for a special Mother's Day message from Mr. T.
Oh, yeah. This was just a segment to make fun of Mr. T's Hall of Fame speech, apparently.
It's a remix of his Hall of Fame speech set to video of Brodus Clay's mamas dancing from a couple WrestleManias ago.
Yep, and superimposed Mr. T in front of different holidays. Although I did like the fact that when in the speech where he's like, I love my mother on April Fool's Day, and then like the still shot they show is him like saying, I pity the fools or something like that.
I pity April Fools, yeah.
I pity April Fools.
God.
That was awful and somewhat insulting, I think.
Yep.
Enter Jack Swagger and Zeb Coulter. Zeb cuts a boring promo. Zeb is interrupted, not soon enough, by a rave and Adam Rose.
Yeah.
Zeb looks perplexed. Zeb looks perplexed as the revelers bring Adam to the ring. Rose tells Zeb to be a rosebud and then dumps Swagger. The partiers enter the ring, and the bouncing of the ring makes it look like Zeb is dancing as he tries to escape. Cole then dances and sings Rose's theme song at the table and pimps NXT on the network along with the referral program. JBL seems really mad that one of his NXT guys made it to the main roster.
I have one beef. I have a beef about Adam Rose in one of his vignettes. I have a beef the fact that he stops his party to announce that it is party time all the time. Think about it.
Yeah,
he actually does that. The party completely stops. And he's like, when I say party time, you say all the time. It's like, okay, well, you just stop the party, dick. It's supposed to be going all the time. Anyway, just a personal beef.
Don't be a lemon. Be a rosebud.
I like it. I like it.
I like it too. I like it a lot.
What's in that fucking lollipop, man? Some good shit, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Main event
a
is
kiddie
next,
pool
man.
full of nacho cheese.
Sounds good to me. Just give me some chips and we'll be all over it. The second time we don't get the personalized "We're Here," just the regular one. There are tons of little lights in the audience. I have to wonder if they passed those out or if everyone's just using the flash on their iPhones to be a part of the crowd.
I don't know.
Enter the Shield to do Justin's announcement. This is the first Raw main event match I can remember in a while that started before the top of the hour.
Wow.
This one starts well before it, about 20 to 11, if I recall correctly.
Wow, they're going to give it time.
We're about to get an easy bomb.
This is like, there was no John Cena on this Raw.
Aw.
Yeah, I just realized that now.
What a shame.
I guess that's why the show was so bad. We need more Cena.
What a fucking tragedy. There it is. We're about to get an easy bomb when Evolution show up. Rollins and Ambrose dump Rowan and Harper, then leap upon all of them. Superman punch for Hunter, then a blindside and a Sister Abigail, and Bray pins Roman for the victory. Surprise, the match hadn't stopped. Evolution recover, and the beatdown is on. Seth takes a Hangman's DDT off the top turnbuckle. Dean gets half-assedly spine-bustered on the steps, and Roman reverses a pedigree before being RKO'd and pedigreed anyway. Then, a Batiste bomb for Roman. Evolution stand tall as we go off the air.
I think they should actually repackage Eva Marie, and she can be Evolution's valet and call herself Evolution.
Bill says, I think the real American gimmick finally makes sense. They finally hate all foreigners. Also, isn't Rosebud a euphemism for butthole?
It's a euphemism for clitoris.
There you go.
If you go by the movie Citizen Kane.
And Bill says, and I don't like it. I miss Leo Kruger. I never saw Leo Kruger, so
I like Leo Kruger. I kind of agree with him.
He's Freddy's brother.
Yeah. One live note from a fan report just to bring the awful even into more awful.
Please.
During the Daniel Bryan Alberto Del Rio match, one of the cameramen filming Brie Bella would make eyeglasses while looking at her. Brie would then look nervous and look around.
Wow.
They must have gone to commercial at this point, but the same cameraman came over to Brie and was talking to her as Bryan and Alberto wrestled in the ring. You could even see them talking on the Titantron. Alberto and Bryan fought towards the stage. At that time, a half dozen guys ran to the ring and set up Kane's pyro on the ring posts. Referee John Cone kept looking back at the ring to see if they were done yet to let Bryan and Alberto know they could return to the ring.
Wow.
Goodness gracious.
Break the illusion.
He's the fucking champion.
Yeah, the fucking champion who sprinted out of the arena because he was so scared of a guy who used to be his tag team partner giving him hugs.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually kind of wondering if the pay-per-view they weren't going to give Kane and Daniel Bryan the main event slot. If they were going to save that for the Evolution match.
Yeah,
I was thinking that too.
But they did.
Yeah. JR postulated that it's possible that it was because he was more protecting his wife than being afraid of Kane, but still, it was fucking stupid.
Could have protected her in the ring.
Yeah.
Main event.
He did last week, sort of.
Main event is live in Buffalo. We open with the promise of Cena later, but first, Dolph Ziggler. His opponent is Jack Swagger. During Swagger's entrance, we go back to last night for Adam Rose's debut, and Zeb is on commentary. The network was being very fickle with me last night on my iPad. It would get to about this point, and then would jump back to the beginning of the show.
Can I just say one of my biggest beefs with the network is that the skip forward, skip backward bar is god-awful.
Yeah.
Terrible.
My least favorite thing is it doesn't do what Netflix or Hulu does and lets you know if you've watched something already. Like that would be really useful, especially watching like the old episodes of Legends of Wrestling, where I'm just like randomly picking them here and there, and I'm like, did I watch that one already? I don't even know.
Yeah. I've done that too.
Yeah.
But my favorite thing about it is the fact that if you turn on a pay-per-view from, the early 2000s, late 90s, and you put your cursor over the bottom of it, and there's just a big gap where a match should be, you know right then that it's a Benoit
Chris Benoit.
match. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It is pretty awesome.
Eventually, the Ravers enter and dance on the stage. The distraction is enough for a zigzag and a pin. Adam then enters the ring and wants Dolph to party with them, so he gives Dolph the girls, kind of like The Godfather.
Yeah, just like The Godfather.
Tonight, John Cena responds.
Rose is hose.
Quiet. Later tonight Friday on SmackDown, Sheamus defends his United States Championship. Right now, a 6-diva tag team match. Oksana, Tamina, and Alicia versus Natalya and the Dunkefactals.
Oh, she's a heel this week.
I have a quick question. What exactly happened with AJ? Is she taking some time off?
Yeah, she's taking a break.
Because she never got her rematch against Paige.
Nope, she's taking a break.
Taking a break to be with CM Punk?
Probably.
All right.
They are engaged, after all.
They are.
This match is accompanied by a clip of made-up drama on a reality show.
What?
Natalya and Cameron.
No, Cameron lost Natty's cat.
Sure she did. Natalya and Cameron start the match by arguing with each other. Naomi pins Oksana. Nobody fucking cares. We then get a replay of the Mr. T remix. The WWE Rewind is the B movie from last night. Thanks for reminding us of that.
Yep.
We come back for Antique Roadshow versus Rybaxel, except apparently it's just Goldust versus Axel. Final Cut finishes off Axel. Is it me, or did the Final Cut used to be a different move?
It was, yeah.
Okay.
Before the Final Cut was it was basically like you put him in slop drop position, lift him up, and then drop him straight down.
Right, okay. So it's not just me. Excellent.
Yeah, it's slightly different. He does like a little turn with it now, right?
Yeah. John Cena's next. Cena enters when we return, and we get yet another replay of Little Johnny. That kid's got good facial expressions. I'll give him that. Kind of sucks about the speech impediment, but the facial expressions are good.
And grow up big and strong like you, and play in the NFL?
If they had used that voice in that commercial, that would have been amazing.
Yeah. And grow up big and strong like you.
Like you. And be your mother's favorite football player.
It's creepy.
And stick my penis inside her.
Cena yammers about, why do we like Bray? Why do we follow Bray? And then he shows us replays of Wyatt's promo. John, a simple lesson here. Simple lesson. Hard to learn, but simple lesson. Don't show clips of a good promo in the middle of your shitty promo. Just saying.
Yeah. If this were any other wrestler, I would think this would be teasing a heel turn, because he's basically saying, the fans have turned against you. Why don't you turn against them? But no, it's John Cena.
Yeah.
And as a side note, I think because we know so many wrestlers listen to this podcast, I think this Bray Wyatt storyline is a direct result of the Make-A-Wish kid who wants John Cena to turn heel. I think that's exactly where they got this storyline from.
Nice.
Just admit it. Just admit it, Bray Wyatt. You're a listener, and you stole this idea from us.
Yeah. Cena leaves, and we go off the air. You guys yammer about something. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Bill on the side says that was the curtain call, correcting Adam.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Curtain
So,
call and final cut.
Yeah.
Two separate things.
Yeah. So I think for next week I'm going to do a recap of the first episodes of Old Fuck Shack.
Nice. I was actually just mentioning that before you showed up on the pre-show.
Yeah.
I was talking to Adam about that, saying how you should recap some shows.
I should. I think I'm gonna do that for next week if I get a chance, and it'll be quite reminiscent of our review of Total Divas.
Oh yes, our
It'll
most downloaded episode.
It's true.
It is true.
And there was no Adam involved.
Oh snap!
Just saying. Hey, he's back.
Shots fired.
Still my fucking show. Bill says that was the curtain call, which I do
We
remember.
covered that. Thank you.
I swear the final cut was something else.
Yeah, I thought they were the same thing. I completely forgot that they were two different things.
Somebody send us an email, and we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Do you want to play a game?
Oh yeah.
Sure.
I just so happen to have one queued up.
Hang on, let me get my scoreboard up here so we can keep track of the.
Oh
points.
good, yeah, please do, because I don't have a pen near me.
I just need to change Josh's name to my name, and then we'll be good to go. All right.
Oh, because then I might have a better chance of winning if it thinks you're Josh.
Probably not.
All right.
Are you ready?
Sure.
As you know, it is 3 for all. I give you 3 categories. You pick one of them. The category that doesn't get picked, categories that don't get picked get rolled over to next week, and then you get 3 questions in the category that you choose. Okay. So who would like to go first?
I don't care.
Go ahead.
Me?
Go ahead.
Okay, sure.
All right, Andy. You get to go first. The 3 categories you get to choose from are Mark Henry, questions about Mark Canterbury, a.k.a. Henry O. Godwin. After that, the Gaping Tunnels of Runnels, questions about Terry Runnels. And after that, Please Pass the Salt, No Wait, On Second Thought, Don't, questions about Mr. Fuji.
Let's go with Fuji.
Oh, okay. Your first question. In 1985, Mr. Fuji began appearing in skits called Fuji Vice, in a parody of the popular TV show Miami Vice. Which of his clients was his co-star in those skits?
1985, you said?
85.
So who would have he been around in 85? I'm going to say the Barbarian.
It was not the Barbarian. Adam, you can steal it?
I am fairly certain it was Don Morocco.
That is correct.
There
The
you go.
original Rock. Adam, you get the next question. At WrestleMania 5, Mr. Fuji came out of retirement to wrestle in a 3-on-2 handicap match where he and one of his tag teams faced Demolition for the WWF Tag Team titles. Which team did he tag with at that event?
I know this one, I think.
Oh.
The Wild Samoans.
It was not. Do you know what it was, Andy?
Is it the Powers of Pain?
It was the Powers of Pain. Whoa.
Yeah.
Steals going on all over the place. You both lie, cheat, and steal.
We do.
And Andy, back to you. Mr. Fuji made his final pay-per-view appearance at WrestleMania 12, managing which wrestler?
He was on. Probably Yokozuna.
That is correct.
Yeah.
First round down. Andy is up 2-1.
Yep.
Adam, You get to choose from the following categories. All About Dude Love, the Billy and Chuck category. After that, the location where you can find an overweight husband, an alcoholic wife, and 2 shitty children. Questions about the pay-per-views called In Your House. And your third category, Disciples of a Lot of Dicks. The questions about the Total Divas roster.
Dude Love, please.
Oh, at long last. At long
Wow,
last.
finally.
In early 2002, Billy and Chuck won their first WWF World Tag Team Championship by defeating the haphazardly assembled team of Spike Dudley and which other former ECW wrestler?
Oh. Stevie Richards.
Twas not Stevie Richards. Andy, do you have a guess?
Tajiri?
Taz.
Oh.
Twas Taz.
That's an odd tag team.
Exactly. Well, I don't know how long they were champs for, but I'm guessing it probably wasn't very long.
No, probably not.
Andy, what was Rico's official title while he managed Billy and Chuck?
He was their stylist, wasn't he?
That's correct. Yes, he
I
was
knew
their
that
personal
one.
stylist.
Yeah.
I knew that one.
And Adam, back to you. Which tag team attacked Billy and Chuck during their commitment ceremony?
Wait a minute. Did I just hear myself say 3 minutes?
Indeed, you did. That is correct.
Casey wants to know why isn't Raccoon Reigns using his arms and hands more to express himself?
That is also a very fair question.
It looks like he's having a seizure right now. That's why.
He was choking on his lollipop. I warned him about that. So what's the score?
3-2.
3-2, Andy?
Yep.
All right, then. 3-2, Andy. And Andy gets to pick your next round of categories. Easy for me to say. I wrote this one back in honor of St. Patrick's Day. Irish wrestling legends. Questions about Sheamus, Finlay, and Ken Shamrock. After that, eat, sleep, beat your girlfriend. Questions about Chaz. and everyone's favorite category, of course. Mom, what's happening to my body? Questions about first blood matches.
Let's go with the first blood matches.
Oh, my God. It's finally been picked. Oh, my God.
Do you even have questions for that category anymore?
No, I don't. No, I do. I do actually have questions for it.
Wow.
Amazing.
I figured we gotta clear the board a bit, you know.
Andy, you're you're killing the gimmick of the game.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Well, it's episode 150. We have some special.
It's a special episode.
Special occasion.
It is.
We will finally do
okay,
the first blood matches.
So, your first question, Andy. What?
What was that?
Why was there yelling? Maybe she's upset about the first blood match being chosen as well.
Maybe.
So, Andy, at King of the Ring 1998, Stone Cold Steve Austin's first WWF title reign ended in a first blood match. Yep. Who defeated him?
I know.
King of the Ring 1998, is that what you said?
King of the Ring 98.
Who defeated him in a first blood match?
Here's a hint. It wasn't Mankind or The Undertaker.
No.
Let's see. Who would have... King of the Ring 98. Bret Hart.
No, it was not Bret Hart. Adam.
It was Kane.
It was Kane. His title reign, I think, lasted a day.
24 hours, yep.
24 hours, yep.
Because it was supposed to lead into a program against The Undertaker, but The Undertaker got injured in the Hell in a Cell, so they just had Kane drop the title back to Steve Austin the next night on Raw.
Okay.
No. Yes, because clearly in that Hell in a Cell match, the first thing I thought when I watched it was, wow, I hope Undertaker's okay. Anyway, Adam, at WCW Uncensored 1999, Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair went head-to-head in a first blood barbed wire steel cage match, with the stipulation being that the winner was granted permanent control over WCW. Now, despite the fact that Ric Flair bled first, referee Charles Robinson did not stop the match, and Flair ended up winning in what manner? And don't worry, you actually get multiple choice here. The three choices: was it A, pinfall thanks to a fast 3 count, B, making Hogan submit to the figure 4 leg lock, or C, walking out the door of the cage?
I'm trying to remember this induction from WrestleCrap.
Yeah. Oh, it was inducted. Oh, excellent.
I'm fairly certain I was inducted. Instinct tells me walking out the door of the cage.
It was not walking out the door of the cage. Andy, you can steal. The first blood match ended either by a pinfall thanks to a fast 3 count or making Hogan submit to the figure 4 leg lock. Do you know which one it was?
I'm going to say the submission.
It was the pinfall thanks to a fast 3 count.
So I would have
A
been wrong
3
if I
count.
got the second guess too.
A 3 count in
And
a
a
first
blood
blood
match.
match.
That's awesome.
WCW, ladies and gentlemen.
Casey says CM Punk was at the Sox game last night.
He was not actually at the Sox game last night. Craig Breslow, the Sox pitcher, enters to whatever the song is called.
Cult of Personality.
Yes, there you go. Thank you.
Nice.
I wish he had been at the Sox game last night.
Right.
And the third question, I think this goes to Andy.
Yep.
At the WWE's most recent First Blood match took place at Survivor Series 2006 when The Undertaker lost to whom?
Survivor Series 2006?
2006. Been 7.5 years since the First Blood match
Really? It's been that long.
in WWE.
Let's see. Who would he have been in 2000? I'm going to say Edge.
Was not Edge. Adam, do you have a guess?
Brock Lesnar.
No, it was not Brock Lesnar. Mr. Kennedy, of all people.
What?
There you go. Let it be on record. Mr. Kennedy won the last ever First Blood match in the WWE. I'm assuming it's the last ever. I wish they'd bring it back, but I'm sure they won't.
Not for TVPG.
Not for PG. Adam, you get to pick the next round. John Cougar Mellenrack. Questions about John Cena, Vicky Guerrero, and Nikki Bella. After that, can't get the job done on his Owen. Questions about Owen Hart tag teams. And in honor of the Ultimate Warrior, a category called Unknown Parts. Questions about China.
I will take John Cougar Mellenrack.
Okay, that's been around for a while too.
For a long while.
Your first question, and this is a monumental question. In October 2002, John Cena turned heel when he attacked his tag team partner after they lost in a WWE Tag Team Championship tournament match. Who was that partner?
Was that B2 Bull Buchanan?
No, it was not Bull Buchanan.
Oh.
Do you remember this, Andy? The only John Cena heel turn on record.
2002?
Yeah, way back in 2002.
Holy shit! Was he must have still been his like thugonomic gimmick.
It may have even been before that.
Wow. Read me the question one last time. Sorry.
Yep. In October
Maybe this was the
2002.
heel turn that led to the Thugonomics gimmick.
Yeah. It might have been, actually. In October of 2002, John Cena turned heel when he attacked his tag team partner after they lost in a WWE Tag Team Championship tournament match. Who was that partner?
I have no clue. Who would he have teamed with? Fuck it, Tajiri. I have no idea.
No, it was Billy Kidman. Who could forget
Oh.
Billy Kidman?
That's the one. That was the one when they created the SmackDown tag titles and Angle and Benoit won, right?
Angle and who?
Exactly. Angle held the inaugural SmackDown Tag Team Championships by himself.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Or according to WWE Network, nothing.
Big blank space.
Nothing happened. Big blank space. Your second question, this is for Andy. It's for you.
Oh no, it is for me.
No, it's for Andy. Don't confuse me. My raccoon brain is tough to process these things.
Yeah.
Walnut.
During the wedding reception for Edge and Vicky Guerrero, Triple H showed a video of Edge making out with whom?
I know this one.
I vaguely remember this. Is it? No.
It was Christian.
Oh, that's weird. I remember and I saw it, but I don't think I remember who it was. I remember seeing it. I remember that ceremony. Who was he making out with?
Who indeed?
It wasn't Adam Rose. Shut up. Oh hell. Trying to think who would have been. Fuck. Maurice. I don't remember.
No. Adam, do you know?
As I recall, it was the wedding planner who was a certain diva by the name of Alicia Fox.
That is correct.
Oh.
Very good. And Adam, you get the next question as well. True or false? Nikki Bella has won the WWE Divas Championship?
Nikki Bella.
Nikki Bella. Or AKA Big Booby Bella.
Right. Based on how you phrased the question, I'm going to say false.
Andy, would you like to try to steal?
Is it true?
It is true. Wow, that was good.
Yeah.
You're very good. Yes, she has won,
You
surprisingly.
can't have two answer questions in a
Ha!
I know,
I
that's
love
true. Yes.
I love it. I'll take it.
True.
Yes.
True. I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
I can't see what the score you're holding up is. It looks like a 4 and something else.
It's a 4 and
And?
another 4.
Oh my goodness, it's a tie game going into the final round. Andy, choose wisely because your final category,
This is where I choke.
final round of categories, we have never forget questions about the Twin Towers tag team. After that, Funk Me, questions about Terry Funk, Flash Funk, and the Funkadactyls. And your final category, God bless the red, white, and blue, questions about the Red Rooster, Kerwin White, and the Blue Meanie.
Never forget.
Oh,
Never forget
I was hoping you'd pick Funk Me.
about the Twin Towers tag team. Your first question, Andy. Who managed the Twin Towers?
That would be the Doctor of Style, Slick.
Very good. Oh, Andy taking the lead. This is crucial for you, Adam.
Yep.
At the 1988 Survivor Series, Akeem and the Big Boss Man were disqualified from a 10-man elimination match when they combined to handcuff which wrestler to the ring post?
I know it.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
I know it. I love me Survivor Series.
I know you do.
It's my favorite pay-per-view.
That's right. I forgot about that.
I have no idea. So, Hulk Hogan.
Oh, man.
You son of a bitch.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's the right answer.
Nicely done. Wow. So
Yep.
it's, what, 5-5?
That answer was
Yeah.
brown and stinky.
Well, this is it. Here you go. That's pulled out of your ass. Exactly.
It's okay. I got the true when false is already taken statement, so it's only fair.
That's right.
Question number
And
3.
Andy.
Who is Paul Bearer's favorite country singer?
Yeah, that's right.
Fuck you. That's who. Sorry.
So, Andy, the question here for the win, if you get it,
Oh, jeez.
at WrestleMania 5, which tag team did the Twin Towers defeat?
WrestleMania 5.
WrestleMania 5.
What tag team did the Twin Towers defeat?
Yes.
I'm not gonna reach over and look at my WrestleMania complete collection. That's
No,
in the
you're
DVD
not.
rack. I'm not gonna open and look and say.
Don't you dare. I'm gonna go with the Rockers.
Oh my goodness, that is correct.
Ooh, I couldn't remember if it
Whoa.
was 5 or 6. I could not remember if it was 5 or 6. Did I just beat Adam at trivia?
Beat him. Stolen.
Yeah.
Oh,
My
Oh.
goodness.
It's only a 1-point victory. Don't get
hey! I usually lose by like 10, so I'm gonna take a 1-point victory.
So many monumental things happening in episode 150. We get Mom, What's Happening to My Body chosen. We get a victory by Andy for the first time.
Oh my God!
Well,
It's not against Josh.
Let's specify
So
for
it
the
means
first time for
something.
me.
Right, the first time in 3 for all over
but
you.
it's the only one that means anything.
I think you had been undefeated against everybody else in 3 for all as well. Man,
Quite
epic
possible.
streak.
Quite
Thank
possible.
you, Twin Towers.
Who's your manager who can now brag about this forever? Who's your agent?
I'm gonna go with Gandalf.
My, aw.
Hello, young ones. Did you know that my client, Andrew, won free for all? I bet you didn't know.
Ended the streak.
That's right.
I zap you with my magic wand.
My client, Andy Lister.
That's awesome. I could just die happy right now.
Yeah,
I've got accidental life insurance now, so I die accidentally right now.
that's right.
News?
There you have it, folks.
Okay.
We are all witnesses to history.
It's great. I don't. I'm just choked up right now.
Shit going down on episode 150.
So shall we get to the rundown showdown?
Oh yeah, I
Showdown?
forgot about that. This
Oh,
is gonna
yes,
be
yes.
a 2-hour episode. Holy shit.
Yeah, it'll be all right.
It's okay. It's 150. It has to go on.
That's true.
Oh, but Bill has a question first, or a comment first.
Bill says, "I thought you were a Bill guy."
Uh,
Oh, that's awesome.
Is this creeping you out, Andrew?
It always creeps me out. I'm surrounded by puppets.
Anyway, so last week in the rundown showdown, we of course had the epic encounter between the number 1 seed Shawn Michaels and the number 16 seed King Kong Al Bundy.
If Shawn doesn't win, I'm gonna be pissed.
which actually, by the way, did you know that on Married with Children they were intentionally named after wrestlers?
I believe we
did-
referenced that this
I
week.
know we spoke about last week that they were.
No, I know, but you didn't. You were
But I
talking
didn't know
about it
that
as
was
if it were a
intentional.
you talked about it as if it were a coincidence. But the obviously the main family was named the Bundys, and their neighbors were named the Rhodes. Yeah, it was intentional. It was intentional. They were named after wrestlers because the creators were big fans.
That's interesting.
There was just a
That's true.
wrestling episode of this new show on ABC called The Goldbergs this week.
Oh,
yeah?
I've seen the Goldbergs, yeah.
So
Was a
anyway,
wrestler on it?
Not a clue. I think they
Ah.
used. I think they got the rights to some old footage, and they dedicated the episode to Warrior. But other than that, I have no idea.
Really? Oh, nice.
Anyway, by a margin of 83% to 17%,
To 17% of ironic people.
the winner is Hornswoggle.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry, Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels wins 83 to 17 and moves on to the second round
Nice.
of the
The
rundown
way you
showdown.
teased it for a second there, I thought you were going to say 83% of the fans just were complete dicks and voted for King Kong Bundy.
And nobody commented on Facebook as to why they voted the way they did.
Because it's pretty obvious.
But the 17% who voted for King Kong Bundy need to explain themselves, I think.
Yes.
Anyway,
Or be cast out of the Facebook
Alright.
group.
our next matchup is the number 15 seed, who was voted to be Psycho Sid,
Mm.
versus the number 2 seed, which is Ric Flair. This one
Oh.
might not be such a blowout, and I'm hoping that it's not. So, Ric
Well,
Flair...
Psycho Sid did shit himself during their match.
That's
so-
true. But remember, this is not a match specifically. This is not a contest specifically about their matches against the Undertaker. This is a match of who of the Undertaker's opponents is the best.
Hmm.
So,
Tough
Ric
call.
Flair,
I got mine already.
Psycho Sid.
Psycho Sid was the ruler of the world, so I don't
That's
know.
true. And he shattered
Tough.
his goddamn leg live on television.
Emphasis on shat.
Bye.
Hello.
Shattered his leg and shattered his pants.
Gahoo.
Blame scissors and squirrels.
Yeah.
That little gyration you did was odd.
They scissors and squirrels. That was for Casey, who requested more gyrations from Rack.
And also he has he is twice the man that Kevin Nash is and has half the
That's
brain
true.
that Scott Hall
That's
does.
right.
I do wonder, does Casey ask you to wear the puppet?
Often.
Okay, just making sure.
Talk raccoon to me.
All right, so go after you listen to the episode. Go to the Facebook page, click through, or go on our Twitter. Click through the link,
Go to the
To-
Twitters.
the survey.
Stimulate our
and
Twitter.
vote Ric Flair
Stimulate our rosebud.
or
Yes.
Psycho Sid. Ric Flair or Psycho Sid, who is better? And remember, your definition of better is completely up to you. And then post on our Facebook page why. So,
Oh, Rosebud was his sled.
Hang on 1 second.
Now I get it.
Andrew is leaving
Go right ahead. Continue on.
He's
just
over
in
it.
time for the news this week.
Woo!
During
What is he sharpening a pencil back there?
during last week's WWE first quarter investors conference call, they were discussing ways that they will be adding content to the WWE network.
I'm still putting my hat in the ring for a game show.
Yeah, when they were listing and Roddy Piper's late night talk show.
That's right. We
When
can
they
air
were
it back to back.
when they were listing new events like the Monday Night Wars or a new season of Countdown, they listed. Oh, you got back in perfect time. They listed WWE Tough Enough.
Oh, okay.
More on the story as it develops, but it sounds as if the show will be making a return via the WWE Network.
Hey, why not? It can't get canceled in that case.
Well, didn't get canceled, just didn't get renewed.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tough Enough is coming back via the network. The question is, will they have actual unsigned talents, or will it just be dudes from NXT?
What? Your favorite match is Alicia Fox versus Oksana? What?
Bill now has
like that.
Bill has clarified his confusion about Rosebud. He was thinking of Balloon Knot.
Oh God.
This is a
I'll give him
classic
partial
show.
credit because there is a sexual term called watering in the rosebud, which means peeing into someone's asshole. So partial credit.
Oh my god.
As I said, this is a classy show.
This really is.
Next!
Washashasha!
The ultimate washasha.
Nice.
Rest in peace.
WWE has reportedly made a deal to purchase a vintage Mid-Atlantic Wrestling library. This material was shot in Virginia at ringside next to the ring announcer for Jim Crockett Promotion events. The footage was filmed by a gentleman by the name of George Pantas. Unlike previous Mid-Atlantic material that was purchased as part of the WCW library in 2001, the Pantas footage was filmed on Super 8 cameras and owned by Pantas. Pantas revealed the news in a column for Norfolk Navy Flagship, which I assume is a newspaper. The footage was also used for a Michael Elliott documentary on Jim Crockett Promotions entitled The Good Old Days, which is currently available on highspots.com. PW Insider reports that the purchase was done about 2 months ago. The footage includes what is possibly the only complete match on film between Ric Flair and Buddy Rogers.
Ooh, the Nature Boys colliding.
Right.
Nice. That's pretty cool.
The man who stole the... Was it for the Nature Boy gimmick and Buddy Rogers lost, so we had to give it to Ric Flair?
One could only hope.
Yeah. I hope it actually is actual penthouse footage, just so it's like, hey, I'm here to show you some wrestling moves.
Oh my god.
I never thought it could happen to me.
Yeah, that's right. Dear Penthouse, I never thought it was possible, but a whole bunch of Catholic schoolgirls showed up and started going to town on my member. Now here's a Nature Boy versus Nature Boy match.
Lord.
Next.
Washashashasha!
Nibble, nibble, nibble. That's what raccoons do.
Yeah, I thought you were saying nipple.
Nipple, nipple, nipple.
Nibble, nibble, nibble.
Hypnotic nipples.
I'm not Dean Ambrose.
Yeah, that's right. F4WOnline.com reports that there have been discussions in WWE on having NXT tape their show bi-weekly instead of monthly due to the show's growing popularity on the network.
I was bi-weekly in college.
You could have told me that. Anyway, WWE officials are said to be very happy with how NXT has been as of late, but the change in the taping schedule would allow them to give the show more fresh content regularly and not, say, promise something one week that suddenly doesn't show up until the next week. It would also make it easier for the WWE to insert segments such as JBL and Paige's backstage interaction.
JBL and Paige had an interaction?
Yeah, when he stripped her of the title.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was going a different direction. Okay.
Ha!
When he
stripped her of the title.
We are in the After Dark mode, looking behind Adam.
Dear Penthouse, I went backstage and JBL was... Boner from hell.
Next.
No, what?
Thank you. WWE officials are reportedly considering pairing up Evan Bourne and Tyson Kidd as a tag team. Both wrestlers have had experience as tag team champion and have not had much progression in recent years. Bourne is expected to return to in-ring action in WWE within the next month or two.
Nice.
Assuming
I have a name for their team.
Easter grass. Okay, what?
Oh, Lord.
The stillborn kids.
Oh.
I'll show myself out. Because Evan
Oh,
Bourne
Lord.
is still here, and his name is Tyson Kidd. So, all right.
That's so awful. That's so much awful.
I'm just trying to help.
I wish I could make the cricket sound effect like you make the cricket sound effect.
Quick, quick.
Thank you.
Oh, did Bill say something on the side there, or did I miss
Something about him, JBL, inserting his segment.
Oh, God.
Next!
Why?
Classy program. F4WOnline.com reports that WWE is planning to sign Bill Goldberg to a deal well before WrestleMania 31.
Oh,
The
no.
plan is to sign Goldberg to be used in the WWE 2K15 video game, which is due out in the fall. The plan is said to be similar to what WWE did with Ultimate Warrior last year, which means expect Bill Goldberg to be dead by this time next year.
Oh,
Report.
one can only hope.
I'm sorry. Per the
Goldberg versus Brock, Part 2.
Per the report, WWE wants to promote the signing at SummerSlam and continue to market and build the deal all the way until WrestleMania 31, which could use Goldberg for a match or a Hall of Fame induction.
Oh, boy.
It was in 2K14. I don't understand why this is a big deal.
Right.
But I guess that was just through, not THQ, through 2K Sports and not through WWE itself. So there's that.
Well, I mean, they're already chanting his name during Ryback matches, so clearly they want him back,
Yeah,
right?
That's a built-in feud right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can chant Goldberg for both of them. That's
Yeah.
perfect.
Lord.
They can pipe in the chants for both of them.
And then
Right.
Dwayne Gill can be the special referee.
Oh, please.
Then Stone Cold can stunner them both.
Yeah, even better.
Still, I called that spot on WWE 2K14 well in advance, saying the only way that Brock Lesnar versus Bill Goldberg at WrestleMania 20 would be worthwhile playing in the game was that if at the end of the match you got to take control of Stone Cold and stunner the shit out of both of them, and in the game at the end of the match you get to take control of Stone Cold and stunner the shit out of both of them.
That's pretty awesome.
So.
What? Yeah. If only they would use like the same chants
You know what's
in
going
the
to be
game
sad?
as
You know
real life.
what's going to be? This is the definition of irony. Stone Cold Steve Austin is going to come down with like Alzheimer's or something, and he's going to be walking around going, "What? What?
Oh God.
What?" And everybody's just going to think he's still in the gimmick, man. He's just living the gimmick.
Steve, your grandchildren are here to visit you. What?
What?
Oh, you're so funny.
What? What?
It's late onset dementia from all those beers you drank. You knew that had to catch up to you.
I thought you said bees at first, and I was really
From all
confused.
those bees that stung you.
What character is that?
That's
Stone Cold's aunt, I guess?
Steve Austin's ward in the nursing home, I guess.
Next.
Wah, sha, 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 sha.
Classy.
According to F4WOnline.com, Batista is reportedly upset over money and pay in WWE. As previously reported, the original plan was for Batista to face Daniel Bryan at WWE Payback in June, which Batista allegedly turned down. The report says that Batista is frustrated that financially things are panning out differently than what he was told when he agreed to return to WWE. Word is that the money is not great right now. And when you have the kind of money Batista has, it makes it that much easier to walk away. Others are said to be upset, but do not have the option to walk away like Batista or CM Punk. Batista was
He thought they were promising him money in the bank, and they're like, no, we said you could wrestle at money in the bank.
Batista was scheduled to take time off later in June, but with the issues, he decided to take an earlier break from the company, except now it looks like he's actually sticking around until June, but we'll see what happens. WWE officials spent most of Sunday trying to convince Batista to work the Payback pay-per-view, but God knows why would you. The Pepperlake says it doesn't look good for him to stick around for that show. Now they're saying it does look good that he's going to stick around for that show. I guess we'll just stay tuned and find out, which is always
I guess so.
Either way, fuck him. Nobody cares.
Right. But Evolution is back. He can't leave when Evolution is just reformed. They have a T-shirt.
Hey, it's a mystery.
That's true. No one knows what he's thinking. It is a mystery.
Next.
Wah, cha, cha.
As we mentioned earlier, WWE has announced a new promotion for referring friends to sign up for the WWE Network. Josh, looking at you. From now until the end of the month, May 31st, existing members who refer friends will receive a $25 WWEshop.com promotional gift card for each friend that subscribes up to a maximum of 10 friends. The friend who subscribes will also receive a $25 WWE Shop gift card.
So if I referred 10 friends, I could get $250 from WWE?
If they all sign up.
That's so much barbecue sauce.
What's the most expensive item I could buy on WWEshop.com?
With $250 or just in general?
I think a
replica
pair of Batista's jeans.
Yeah, that was on the auction site.
Okay, sorry.
No, the belts are around $300, so with the $250 you wouldn't be able to get a belt. But
damn it.
Be close.
Speaking of which, we had a question before the show that we didn't know the answer to. Andy, has your friend Ryan Papperndorf have gotten his mask yet?
No, because I didn't make it to the SCW show.
Aww.
Cinco de Mayhem. I'm sorry, I was busy.
Oh my God.
I was busy during that one. I'm gonna see if I can make the next one.
All right.
I still think they should do the next one called Murder's Day, but that's just me.
Don't give them ideas.
Okay, sorry.
Next. I just spit all over my desk. This is kind of following up on that NXT thing from earlier. TNA tapes on the following dates this week in Orlando. Tonight, tomorrow, Friday, Impact tapings, and then Saturday they're taping 2 one-night-only pay-per-views. So the next 3 nights they're taping Impact. God knows how many Impacts they're taping, but if it's at least 2 a night, that's 6 episodes of Impact. They're taping at least a month and a half of Impact in advance.
Wow.
And then the 2 one-night-only pay-per-views. Unless something changes, these will be the last tapings at Universal Studios for 2014.
That's crazy.
I'm attending all of them.
As they then move to the Manhattan Center, I guess.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. And Eric Young is still the champion, correct?
Yes.
Oh, boy.
Is he fighting Abyss in a really awful, B-horror movie sort of thing right now?
Lord. They were friends.
Don't give them ideas.
They were friends. The last episode of Impact I watched had Eric Young finally convincing Joseph Parks that he was Abyss. That was the last episode I watched, and that was a few months ago. So.
Wow.
Boy. The last time I was watching, I was doing the TNA recap, and he was palling around with ODB.
Yeah, you know me. They were married at one point, I think.
Yeah. In storyline.
Yeah. And wasn't he Knockouts champion, or they were Knockouts tag team champion?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I got to call an ODB match once.
Did you?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, she was at an SCW show one time.
Was she famous?
Did you ask for her autograph?
Yeah, I think she was fairly well known. It was her, and then Mickey Knuckles was there too, and I can't remember who they. There was another female wrestler. It was a 3-way or whatever.
Oh.
Hey.
Sexy. So, NXT is doing things correctly in their taping schedule, and TNA is not.
Is definitely not.
I don't. What kind of logic says we need to tape at least a month and a half in advance?
Maybe it'll save costs. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Next. And finally this week.
Oh, thank
something worth discussing here. Mick Foley posted the following Facebook blog yesterday after Raw, discussing the recent booking of Daniel Bryan, saying, quote, it was titled, "Be careful! Be very careful!" Whether Daniel Bryan knows it or not, now is the time that the fiercest fighting takes place for a WWE champion, and it has nothing to do with the action in the ring. Now is the time to step up and shoot down horrible ideas that can derail even the most promising of ideas. I used to joke that Daniel was the exception to the rule, that every top guy in WWE has been perceived at one time or another as a pain in the neck, largely for their willingness to step up and call the creative team out on bad ideas when they see them. That thing I saw tonight, that thing with Daniel and Brie Bella in the car, that was a bad idea. That should never have seen the light of day.
Right.
I have said on several occasions that I used up my ammo when it came to complaining about WWE storylines when I went to bat for the Yes Movement in the aftermath of the Royal Rumble. I'm going to do my very best to do just that, but I'll first ask everyone involved, Daniel, Bree, Hunter, Steph, Vince, etc., to take a good look at the nearly identical storyline that ran Zack Ryder's promising career off the rails,
That's
and
right.
do everything they can to avoid that same horrible stretch of track. Have a nice day.
Hey, he makes good points.
Yeah.
He does. He will never be back on WWE television again.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he already did.
Fully, I mean, not Daniel Bryan.
He already didn't sign the contract and publicly said why, so that's not a big surprise.
Yeah, not so much.
Yeah, well,
He has a point.
he
does.
does.
He has a good point.
Because that was fucking horrible.
Agreed.
It was.
I totally agree. It was a rehash of something that didn't work before. So why not try it again?
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense to me.
Right.
The common denominator is always Kane.
Yeah.
Always. I think I was saying when I inducted him to the Runnies this year, he
Mhm.
won the Pro Wrestling Observer, whatever it is, Pro Wrestling Illustrated's worst gimmick 7 out of 10 years with 7 different opponents.
Yeah.
So, and again, not that that's any real indicator, but that does mean he was in a lot of shitty storylines.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah. What was wrong with him? Just they turned him into the corporate puppet, and that was fine for a while. He was jobbing all over the place. But what was wrong with him just being a fucking corporate puppet?
Good question.
They gave up on it after what, 3 months, 4
I
months?
mean, he wasn't really doing anything.
no,
They
he
didn't,
wasn't.
they didn't have a role for him because they didn't have too many authority figures.
But yeah, but I was okay with that because at this point, it's like he's been with the company for what, 17 years now. It's okay if he takes a reduced role.
Yeah.
Right.
We don't need him. Oh, I don't know, main eventing the first pay-per-view after WrestleMania.
And the second.
And the second, yeah.
Yeah, in the second. Yep.
The man has to get his payback.
Indeed.
Have you heard the rumor?
He's
I
going
haven't.
over. He's going to win the title.
Oh, that would be crazy.
It's going to be a buried alive match, so
Oh,
so, so Kane can take time off to film See No Evil 2.
Oh,
boy.
good lord.
Hey, isn't May 19th coming up?
Which at least means that after Payback, Kane will be off our TV for a while.
Which will be nice.
Yes, that will be nice. That'd be very nice.
Oh, Jesus. With that,
Indeed.
I believe it is time
Oh, yeah, long past.
for a certain scruffy little fellow
Mm-hmm.
to present something in regards to the specialness of this occasion. That is the 150th episode of The Rundown.
That's
Fancy.
correct. That's correct. Now, as you know, this is the 150th episode of The Rundown, so I wanted to do something special. Now, I have decided to combine 2 things which have been discussed at length on The Rundown over these past few years. Terrible gimmicks and poetry. Now, as a
True.
poet, Andy,
Yes.
I know you are familiar with the genre of slam poetry, so I have
Yes.
combined poetry with wrestling to form a new genre called power slam poetry.
Nice.
Now, if you will indulge me for a moment, I'd like to read one of my poems for you. This is
By all
called.
means, please do.
This is called.
I wish I had a set of bongo drums.
Yes, indeed. That would be more like beat poetry, I think. But
Yeah,
true,
that'd be more beat.
true.
Yeah.
Sorry.
but and this poem is of course called Listermania. So dedicated to you, Andy.
This is a great episode.
If I may. I recently paid $8 to buy your book on Kickstarter, but spending it on bestiality porno would have been so much smarter. Your chapbook's a crap book, a flat-out disaster. I heard your ghostwriter goes by the name of Shockmaster.
Oh,
Your book has received negative reviews from Oklahoma to Oz. After reading just one poem, I projectile vomited like draws. I'm the poetic icon, the lyrical showstopper. Your book has so much dookie, you should call T.L. Hopper. You do the big wiggle while I dance the fandango. Like Brodus Clay, I called your mama, then she called me Papa like Shango. My rhymes are electric, like the cattle prod of the Mountie. Your book is the print equivalent of Santa Claus watching Christmas Bounty. Your stanzas, your stanzas are weak, like Max Moon's laser. My poetic wrath induces rigor mortis and melts your brain like a glacier. Your poems are more painful than Isaac Yankem foregoing anesthesia. My lyrical earthquakes cause typhoons like 04 Indonesia. Your poetic muses are the Cobra and Moppy. I pull out my verbal sword, and your pee-pee goes choppy. I'm pretty proud of that part.
That's a sick burn, son.
Oh, snap.
Oh, it's Diva Burn.
My poetry is complex, but your shit is just basic. I threw your book to the yellow dog, but even he wouldn't chase it. You write so much nonsense. You should be called Gobbledygooker. My style cracks your skull open, like Superfly Jimmy Snuka. He killed that woman. Your poems are phonier than fake Diesel and Razor. My ill rhyme skill drops you faster than the Blue Blazer.
Oh, that was terrible.
But I seriously think that you're a great host, and you've got talent galore. The Rundown has 150 episodes. Here's 220 more.
Yeah.
There you go, a little power slam poetry for you.
That was brilliant. That was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, thank you. But in fairness, Kickstarter.com/Chasing Distant Horizons.
Not even close.
Oh no. Kickstarter.edu.
Stop.
TinyURL.
TinyURL.com/Distant Horizons.
.org.
.uk.
Chase.
Geocities.com
/
home
Angel Fire.
/ marketplace / home / index.html
Yes.
/ chasing distance / horizons.
That's how you get to it. That's exactly how you get to it.
The drippy blood drops you have on the website. It looks amazing.
It's amazing. It's animated GIFs everywhere.
Angelfire.com. Bill says the mama part makes sense, actually.
That's right.
And wants to know if this is a rap battle. So, Andy, do you have a response?
It is.
Maybe next week. Maybe next week. See what I can do.
Be on the lookout.
Episode 151. The battle continues.
That was a thing that happened just now.
It was. Indeed it was.
So that does it for the rundown. Episode 150.
Woo!
150!
When did this show start? Like 2011?
February of... Well, this is the third season, right?
Yeah.
So 2014, 2012, 2013, 2012. So February of 2012 was the first...
Wow.
It was after our first show was after the Royal Rumble. It was a Royal Rumble recap situation, as I recall. Which and to this day, I don't think anybody has heard that episode.
I heard it.
Because we only recorded half of it, and I had not figured out that plugging what I thought was a microphone headset into my computer it wasn't actually using the microphone on the headset. It was using the microphone on the computer. And I recorded most of the episode sitting about 4 feet away from the computer. And it sounded just as good.
Oh, wait a minute. I think it actually was 2011 because you were talking about The Miz winning the title back then, and I think that was 2011. That wasn't. Yeah, that was 2011.
Oh, that's right, because this is season 4, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're right. February 2000. I can't remember what season it is.
No, way to go.
Season 4. So, yes.
Congratulations to all involved.
We've all grown so much since then.
We have.
It's a growing experience.
Who would have known? That does it for the rundown for this Wednesday, May 7th, 2014. I have to go to this because it's not Dean Ambrose anymore.
Oh.
65 days since the Usos won the WWE Tag Team Championship.
Really?
They're the longest tenured now?
You're not counting NXT Tag Team Champions, The Ascension?
Nope.
Okay.
This is main roster, my friend.
Okay.
Yeah, they're the longest.
Like 200 and some days.
Next longest behind them is Daniel Bryan with 31 days, and then Paige with 30 days.
Okay.
Wow.
Then you've got Wade Barrett with 3 days and Sheamus with 2 days.
Excellent.
65 days since the Usos won the WWE Tag Team Championships.
And that one seems pretty safe because there are no tag teams anymore.
So.
Right.
Liberty States returns this Saturday, May the 10th, with Respect from the John McCarthy Elementary School in Peabody, Massachusetts. Go to Liberty States.
RESPECT, do a blade job, get in for free. Oh, okay. But you can do a blade job, though, just for the record.
Well, I cannot guarantee that there will be any medical personnel on hand, but you can try.
All right.
LibertyStatesWrestling.com, or look on the Facebook page. There's going to be more information on the Facebook page. APW, Atlantic Pro Wrestling, returns Saturday, May 17th, next weekend at the APW Arena at the Newbury Fire Hall for Reloaded. The poster is pretty awesome, so check that out on Facebook or on AtlanticProWrestling.com. Lucky Pro Wrestling.
And if the building catches on fire, they will be able to extinguish it.
That's right. Lucky Pro Wrestling Star Clash on Friday, June 20th in Hudson, Massachusetts, featuring, hang on, I'll remember.
Scott Hudson?
No. Daphne's going to be there.
Nice.
Nova is going to be there.
Oh.
And Hurricane. The Hurricane's going to be there.
Interesting.
Nice.
On June 20th in Hudson, Mass. And then we go back to Clinton.
So wait, just for the record, he will be the Hurricane. He won't be Shane Helms.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay, all right.
And then we go back to Clinton, Mass. for Summer Sizzle on Saturday, August 9th, but I don't know who's going to be there yet because it hasn't been announced. For the details on that, go to luckyprowrestling.weebly.com. Weebly, Weebly.com.
Why?
Because. Wait.
Okay.
At Rundown Podcast on Twitter if you want to follow me while I live tweet Raw. And Andy has access to the Twitter too, but I don't know how much stuff he posts because I don't pay attention. But,
not a lot.
Yeah. But I do live tweet.
Raccoon Reigns on Facebook.
I do live tweet when I watch Raw, even though I'm about an hour and a half to 2 hours behind because of when I get home from work. But who knows? That might be changing soon. Fingers fucking crossed. Send your feedback. Send your Ryback theme songs. I guess we can take that part out now. Send your catchphrase suggestions. Send your fake sponsors. Send your real sponsors. Send your Doctor Who Creator Wrestler templates for Pertwee through McGann. Send your questions for me to answer on YouTube. And if you want a link to my Amazon.com wish list, because we are 2 months away from my birthday, send
Not you're counting.
Send an email to rundownwrestling@gmail.com. Facebook.com/rundownwrestling to go click on the link to vote on the poll for Ric Flair versus Psycho Sid in the Rundown Showdown.
I know I'm voting for.
I will remember to put the link up on the day that I put the episode up this week. I was at work the next day. I was like, shit, I didn't make the poll. And I can't access any of those websites at work, so I had to wait until I got home. Anyway. Rundown.podomatic.com to listen on Podomatic. If you want to make a donation of the monetary variety, go there and click on the PayPal button on the right-hand side of the screen to send us a little cachet. Just as a benchmark, this cost me $9.99 a month to host on Podomatic, so your donations are appreciated.
Yeah, absolutely.
YouTube.com/Rundown Podcast to watch the archived episodes of our Google Hangouts, and Google.com/plus Adam Rundown Host, plus sign, not the word plus Adam Rundown Host. It's the best I could get. If the best thing we can do on Google Plus is if you want to put me in a circle, and then I'll put you in a circle, and then when I put up the live hangout,
you'll do Ring Around the Rosie.
When I put up the live hangout, you'll get a little notification that says Adam Rundown Host is having a hangout or some shit.
Put me on the wheel.
You don't want to see Snakey. tinyurl.com/distant horizons to get a PDF of a chapbook of poetry for $2.50.
I paid $8 for the book version.
Did you actually pay $8 for the book?
No, he didn't.
No?
I'm pretty sure he didn't.
Or did I?
Or did you?
Go get your book. We'll prove it right now.
It's over there somewhere. I think Casey's reading it. It's over. Casey's reading it over there somewhere.
Oh, okay, great. She's enjoying the poetry. That's good.
Yep, she's on page 160.
Okay, all right. That's plausible for a chap.
Look at Look at see all those hundreds of pages.
Yes.
Hundreds of pages.
I got the unabridged version.
Oh yes, indeed. I remember. That was a special edition.
Yep.
Are you pimping anything, Andrew?
No, I'm good. Pimping ain't easy, but we're good. SCW has a show, Elevation, coming up, I believe the 17th, in Walcott. So check that out if you are a local.
Walcott.
If you live near me, go to APW. If you live near Andy, go to SCW.
Yep.
So, Raccoon Reigns, you got anything to plug?
Shout-outs to Cat Striker.
Catherine Hepburn gets no love this month?
Well, her too.
Okay.
I would call her over, but I think she's in the next room somewhere.
She's over reading
the
chat book. Yeah.
Yeah.
and Hoodie Barrelson, of course.
Of course.
Search for us on iTunes, Another Rundown Wrestling Podcast. If you subscribe, you get the podcast delivered to you absolutely free each and every week for $0.00. If you cannot afford a donation of the monetary variety, you can leave us a 5-star review because that helps other people find us. And if you leave us a text review on iTunes, we will read your name and your text review like these fine people. We're also on Stitcher. That's Stitcher.
Mother bitcher.
At Stitcher.com or on the Stitcher app on your Android or iOS device. Also free, but you don't have to download it. You stream it directly from them. You can choose from your favorites of tens of thousands of podcasts, but why would you listen to anyone other than this one? We have got a goddamn raccoon in a trash can.
That is
That's
true.
right.
JR doesn't have that in his podcast.
Yeah. Or Steve Austin, for that matter.
Thanks to Tegan Brown for the logo. Thanks to everyone for listening. Thanks to Casey and Bill for chiming in on the side here.
And don't forget the guy who was calling us gay.
Yes, the Mexican faggot caller.
Yes.
Fuck that guy.
He might have been a big fan. He might have just gone into the wrong show by mistake and been trying to
He must
talk
have.
to somebody else. Yeah.
Thanks to Raccoon Reigns.
But of course.
Thanks to Andrew.
Thank you very much.
Are you feeling better now?
I'm feeling a little better.
Good.
I was worried the poem would make you feel worse.
No, I love it. I absolutely love it.
Okay.
It's
All right.
amazing.
You should post the text of that on the Facebook page.
Okay.
And thanks to I Fight Dragons for the theme song. Next week,
What?
the results of Psycho Sid versus Ric Flair, plus some other shit. And
In Sid's case, literally.
Yeah.
And I didn't write down anything funny to say at the end of the show.
Raccoon Reigns on Facebook.
And as always, remember, Jacob, good night and good luck. And fun. Oh, I just shit myself.
Sid.
Good night, everybody.
Are you trying to skew the results in Sid's favor by talking about shitting yourself? It's very subtle, but I see what you're doing there.
Here's to 150 more.
Woo!
Shits, I mean.
Yeah.
20 more episodes, but 150 more shits.
Yes.
Yeah. In Josh's case, sometimes during the episodes.
And stop.
And stop.
Now it'll be broken for like 15 minutes.
And there's a comment, too.
Bill says Russian dumper.
It says Russian dumper. Yeah.
That'll be the new catchphrase now?
Yes.
God.
Oh, yeah. Good times.
Good times.
So that's 150.
150.
Yeah.
Who'd have
History.
thunk? Who'd have thunk 3 years ago when me and some jerk were just trying to make this thing into something on a website that
It would turn into so much more.
started from the bottom, now we're here.
That's right.
I might have to cut this into 2 parts again.
Yeah,
Aw.
probably.
I hope not.
All right. I'm going to export this, and then I think I'm going to go because I think my better half is angry.
Yeah.
Because the podcast ran long. So I will export.
I also have to go because I have to go to bed.
Yeah, you should do that.
So,
Okay.
thanks for watching, everyone.
Later,
I'm
everyone.
going to click goodbye now.
Bye, peoples.
Aw. Well, wait. How do I? Are you going to sign on Skype so I can send it to you?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll send it to you in a little bit. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Oh, you were talking to the listeners. I got it.
Yes.
Bye.